What a finish. What a man.
The drum roll finishes, and the target is hit.
And it comes on finals night, and it's a knockout
Brilliant. Dirty Harrison. Van Velzen.
Does he get it? Yes, he does.
Getting one of the three spots.
He wins the match.
Double 19 for back-to-back 12 dart legs. You beauty.
On a third leg, Mark McGeeney.
Going to have to chase around the bullseye, 14 bull. To save the match. Finds it to take it all the way.
Absolutely brilliant.
Hello, good evening. Welcome along to the MODUS Super Series here from the live lounge here in Portsmouth. The second session of the day here on the South Coast, and Group B is about to get underway in a few moments' time. We're going to be watching all of the action in the company of the asset Paul Nicholson. Paul, we've already seen a session today here at the Live Lounge, and it was David Wazowski, who was on fire. 5 games played, 5 wins. He's in control of Group C.
Yeah, I guess from some point of view, some people might think that Wazzy leading overnight after a perfect day is a bit of a surprise, but sometimes steady wins the day, and he's continued a trend here in week number 5 because every day this week in a 5-game group, somebody has had a perfect day. Ted Evetts has done it twice. Kurt Parry did it on Tuesday, and Wazzy's done it today. So maybe that'll continue tonight with someone going 4 from 4.
So Dave Wazowski, top of the Group C table, alongside Carl Wilson, who's on 8 points, and there is a big gap from everybody else in this group. The action is going to resume tomorrow afternoon from 1 o'clock on Pluto TV. This is how the tournament bracket breaks down if it's the first time you've been watching the Super Series this week. Kurt Parry won Group A on Wednesday afternoon. Group C is what we watched earlier. And then later on tonight, well, actually in a couple of moments' time, we're going to be seeing Reese Robinson, Mark McGeeney and Jamie Owens join Ted Evetts and Reese Colley, who dropped out of Group A on Wednesday afternoon. Such an intriguing session tonight. And actually, one of the things we've been saying about this pretty much when we knew the players for Group B is there could be a little bit of a fiery atmosphere around it because you've got a lot of players that play with their heart on their sleeve.
Yeah, when you talk about the people who've come from Group A into Group B, Colley and Evetts, at times they've shown great determined darts over the first 3 days, but they might just have to crank things up a bit coming into this one, because when you add Jamie Owens and Reese Robinson, you're getting a bit of fire in there. Great firepower from Robinson, great determination, and a bit of gumption as well from Jamie. So a nice mix tonight, and who handles the dynamic of the practice room and the stage will probably win the day.
Jamie Owens very much a find from the ADC. He's been here a couple of times. He's made the final a couple of times. And he's a player that does like to have a big moment. This was the big fish against Victor Tinchin, who's gone on to get his tour card subsequently the last time he was here. He plays up to the crowd. He enjoys the atmosphere. And look, his former sporting background as well with football. You could tell moments like this, he's not going to be deterred by. It's a little bit like taking a penalty, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he handled this situation really well. It's one of the best moments of the last 12 months here at the MODUS Super Series. But being able to do that, to win a match on a Saturday night, it's one of the best Saturday moments that we've had since we first came here 2.5 years ago. So fair play to him for that. And he knows that after doing that, he wants to go even further.
Then we've got Sugar Reese Robinson, otherwise known as the human highlight reel, otherwise known as Mr. Must See. You can't miss him, particularly with the garment he's got on tonight. We'll talk about that in a couple of moments' time. But he is a player that has got this maverick flair. He can go for anything and he will get anything, whether it's 120s with 3 tops, whether it's big finishes like this. He's one of those players that you just don't quite know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time that we've seen Reese over the last couple of years, he's been playing Group A, Group B or C, and then on Saturday night he's had a great deal of success winning a couple of weekly titles. So he's the winningest of the people we've got this week. But when he plays the full week, he can sometimes get a bit of soreness in his throwing arm. So I think playing Group B suits him down to the ground. I think he can pace himself better in a sprint formation. So playing 4 games tonight, 4 games tomorrow, and potentially 4 games on Saturday.
Well, let's have a look at the odds then and see what the bookies think about tonight's action. And it is Reese Robinson that they go as the 15-8 favourite. But you look further down the betting, Ted Evetts, who apart from Tuesday's had a really good week at 5-2. And are we awaiting Reese Colley to get going here, the live lounge?
Yeah, I don't think that Reese is a morning person. You look at his performances on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday early, they weren't good enough. He knows that. So being in a Group B situation, I think suits him a lot better. So he can work his way into being sharper for his first match. And he's going to need to be on it tonight to make sure that he doesn't get a slow start. But 5-2 for Evetts, yeah, that looks like value. But I think if you realistically look at the person who's had 2 perfect days and didn't win Group A, his base level has got to be better. The top stuff was good. The flashes of brilliance have got to come at the end of matches, not in the middle.
Be interesting to see. It is 18+. It is gambleaware.org if you're going to have a flutter on the Super Series tonight. Right, let's get into the first match of the session. And I'm going to make you a promise. I don't make many, but I'm going to give you a promise here. Reese is going to win the opening match of the night because Robinson takes on Colley. And earlier on this evening, I caught up with Sugar to see how he is going to get along in tonight's session. And watch out. If you thought this is loud, turn down your brightness on the telly. Well, Reese, you call yourself Mr. Must-See, and I've got to be honest, we can't really miss you in that garment tonight, can we?
Yeah, I've been doing a shift at a factory or something before I got here in my Ivies.
Let's talk about this evening. Let's talk about the darts. How have they been in recent weeks?
I've not really been playing much. I've just been having a little practice at home and I've been going all right.
So, has it been a case of just slowly doing bits, and this is kind of the first real thing you've done this year?
Yeah, I thought I'd focus more on this side of things this year and just see how they go. More practice, less tournaments, if that makes sense.
And in terms of the Super Series, it's been a bit of a winning formula for yourself, hasn't it, the last couple of years? Couple of weekly wins and a couple of Champions Nights. What is it about the Super Series that brings possibly the best out of your game?
I think it's I'm fully focused on darts when I get here. There's nothing else really to think about. Once you get here, you're here playing darts and get ready.
Does the stage environment help you?
I'd like to say yeah, but I don't know. It don't bother me, put it that way.
In terms of this week, because of the record you have here in the past, do the expectations get laid quite highly at your door or within yourself?
No, not really. I just come and I just think enjoy it. I always enjoy it up there, so if I just keep enjoying it, usually the darts come.
So you've called yourself the human highlight reel in the past. You've called yourself Mr. Must-See in the past. Any kind of shenanigans you should pre-warn us about tonight?
No, none. Not none up the sleeve.
Serious business now.
Yeah.
Well, Reese, wish you all the very best. Good luck tonight.
Cheers, thank you.
So then, first game of the night. And before we even get going, my eyes! That is some shirt from Reese Robinson this evening. You can't miss Mr. Must-See on this Thursday evening. The 32-year-old from Hull, twice a weekly winner here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And he takes on Reese Colley, a man who has also tasted success in this building. In fact, it's the only 2 weekly winners in this group going head-to-head in this particular match. And in terms of qualifying through to Saturday evening, these two, well, they've got pretty much unblemished records in doing so. Reese Robinson doing so 6 times out of 7. Colley with a record of 5 from 9. They will both be expected to be into the Saturday showpiece. And I can guarantee that man's going to be there because George Baker is going to be with us now to look after all of the action here on Pluto TV. And we're going to get underway with the first darts of the night being thrown by Reese Robinson in the Battle of the Reeses. The battle will commence and it was going to be all watched in the company of the asset,
14.
Paul Nicholson.
You okay, Henry? Eyes okay?
Turn the brightness on your TV sets down. 1 word of friendly advice. What are we going to see from Mr. Must-See then this evening, Nico?
Well, radioactivity for starters. Looks like he's glowing. Yeah, you don't want to go for that 180, do you, Reese? Yeah, don't listen to me.
He will do what he wants whenever he wants.
Well, let's get this out of the way, shall we? He is Mr. Must-See.
45.
And he's got more nicknames than Apollo Creed. Now we can call him Mr. Can't Miss Him. He can actually be seen from the next galaxy.
93.
That's how bright he is tonight.
Forget Pluto TV. You probably can see him from Pluto.
55.
I don't think he can be much brighter than this. Let's face it. Planes flying overhead are getting confused. They think they're having to fly into the MODUS Super Series tonight at the Live Lounge, thinking, well, if you're going to wear something like that, at least tell us which runway to go on.
Well, it's a bright start nonetheless, leaving himself on 63 after
96.
just a dozen darts.
63.
Looking to light up the show on this Thursday night. And it could be lighting up the blue touch paper here. Well and truly
Game
been
shot
lit.
in the first
15
leg,
darter
Reese
for the
Robinson.
opening leg. Robinson one up.
It is a bit different because he always wears black usually.
Second leg, it's Reese Colley to throw first. Game on.
This must be the away strip. You know how some clubs
60.
have got a quintessential colour for their home strip, apart from Bayern Munich, of course. They just like to change their home kit colours. And then the away kit,
100.
it could be anything. And in the case of Robinson, it is a luminous yellow.
58.
Yeah, Reese Colley's got to have a better start. In fact, everybody's got to have a good start in this group because it's the least
121.
games of any group. You only get 8 matches. Win half of them, you might go through.
140.
You're likely to go through. Win more than you lose, you will be through. I'll tell you what, Robinson looks good.
123.
Do you know what? I spoke to Reese in the interview and I got a sense of real focus from him this evening. Where perhaps in the
41,
past
Reese Duke, 157.
he's a very laid-back character, is Reese Robinson, and sometimes we can see that in his play, but there seemed to be a determined focus. He's actually, as he said in the interview, just stepping back a little bit compared to
57.
what he used to do. And by trimming things back, he feels like he's going to get a bit more joy in the short term.
Makes sense to me. I think some people from Reese's
97.
generation, they've had too much
Reese
pressure
Duke,
on them
100.
to perform week in, week out. And sometimes in order to be better, you have to take a step back and have a better outlook. Tops?
Game shot in the second leg.
He looks
Reese
good.
Robinson.
15-14, 2-0 to the good. And for Reese Colley,
Third leg, it's
he
Reese
hasn't been
Robinson
able
throw
to make
first.
any
Game
kind of
on.
imprint on this contest thus far.
$58.
Well, after the first couple of legs, Reese is averaging over 103, which is what we saw from Carl Wilson in his last match this
58.
afternoon. How impressive was he today, by the way? Didn't even win the most points in the group, but at times he looked special.
68.
You can imagine if Robinson was to go on to win this week, to get a third weekly title.
60.
That would put him in a rather exclusive bracket, wouldn't it?
It really would. In terms of players that have won multiple weekly titles, Steve
134.
West leads the way with 5. Duff and Harrison have 4. And he'd join a list on 3, which would include Matt Clark, Darren
78.
Pilgrim, Tom Sykes, Scott Taylor, and Jimmy Van Schie. That's not a bad club to be alongside.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You can imagine if Jimmy Van Schie was to have
81.
the kind of year he had in 2024 here this year in 25, he could become an all-time great in the space of 2 years.
122. Reese Duke, 160.
But these weekly titles are getting harder and harder to win, especially in Series 10. Everybody so far a first-time winner.
Well, Reese Robinson is actually more
56.
used to brilliance being hit against him than providing the brilliance himself. Of the top 10, and it includes ties, averages of all time,
99.
Reese Robinson has had 3 of them hit against him. He's had 3 averages of 113 hit against him in his Super Series career.
Can I guess some of them?
Reese require
Indeed you
84.
can.
Was Owen Bates one of them?
No, Owen Bates was Darryl Pilgrim on the Champions Night, and that's a
Game
really
shot
good
in third
response from
leg,
Colley.
Reese Colley.
84, cleanly taken, back to 2-1.
Tom Lonsdale?
Correct, 4-0 win in
Fourth
October
leg is Reese Colley to throw
2023.
first. Game on.
A couple of the other 2 are Super Series greats.
58.
The top echelon of greats.
Pilgrim?
No.
128.
They are both former champions.
Oh, that narrows it down. Scott Taylor?
No.
Luke Littler?
44.
Correct. And actually, that's the highest ever average ascertained at a Champions Week. Reese Robinson actually won a leg in that game. 113.77 in a 4-1 demolition from the Nuke.
140.
One other also would go on to win the Super Series. They averaged 113.43 against him.
57.
I'm trying to pick which one it could be. It wasn't J-Mac, was it?
No.
140.
Ray Smith?
No. You've pretty much gone for everybody else apart from this person now.
Conan?
No! I'll tell you what, we'll find out in the
58.
next leg
Reese
whether
require
your
93.
brains rally together, because Robinson's rallying back here. Had legs of 15 and 14 to win his first couple.
No, it was Andreas Harrison, wasn't it?
It was back in June of 2024. That was when Andreas was defending his title. That was actually the week that Richard Rowlands won.
36.
The old week 3. Oh, Colley is getting off to a rather slow start again, and he knows it.
55.
He's going to have to snap out of this, whatever it is. He's only had 1 dart at a double. Double top.
Game shot in the 4th leg. Reese
Relentless.
Robinson.
Reese Robinson. 3 out of 4 on the doubles.
5th leg is Reese Robinson to throw first. Game on.
This is a referee's nightmare, this game, isn't it? You've got to do full names for every leg.
Luckily, they've got shortish last names.
You're not going to start talking about Pierre Van Hooydonk
85.
again, are you?
I was thinking more Vanuatu that played at the World Championship once.
Oh, our friend Cool Cat Tanawat.
45.
Yes.
Tanawat Gavinuntawong. He's a great guy. Wears some of the best pants in the world. As in trousers.
180.
I was going to say we're past the watershed ease up, but Reese Robinson isn't easing up here. What a performance this is out of the gate. Average just under the 99
100.
mark at this present moment in time. The legs he's won have been in 15 and a couple of 14s. Had the odd leg where he was a bit off it, which allowed Reese Colley in, but he has assumed control right from the get-go of
58.
this match, and it doesn't look like he's going to relinquish it anytime soon.
60.
Now, Reese has always been pretty good at getting out of the gate. That's why I think Group B suits him best. He likes playing at night. If you didn't, you wouldn't win twice on
100.
Saturdays. And when he won a title on a Saturday, that used to be a 10 o'clock start. Like this.
44.
He would win
Reese
after
requires
midnight.
78.
So this, for him tonight, is not a problem.
Well, this to complete a dominant display.
$38.
Well, Reese is all the way back on 252, so you can understand the play there. He's left himself tops nonetheless. To complete a
60. Reese
4-1
requires
success.
40.
He's got 6 from here if he wants it. But he only
Game
needs the
shot
1.
and the match.
What a
Reese
performance out the
Robinson.
gate that was from Reese Robinson. They call him Mr. Must-See. Well, he was Mr. Not Miss, wasn't he, in that match? Average of in excess of 95, 4 from 5 on his doubles. What a start that is to his campaign. For Reese Colley, once again, he starts the session slowly. He was pulled from pillar to post by the man from Hull, and it is Robinson who gets the better of Colley in the clash of the Reeses by 4 legs to 1. Colley needs to get at the races. Coming up next, Mark McGeeney takes on Ted Evetts. Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius?
Yes.
Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receive the trophy. £25,000.
The new MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new MODUS Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th MODUS Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 MODUS Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new MODUS Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler! Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where before the break, Reese Robinson got the better of Reese Colley by 4 legs. A really good performance from Robinson, an average of 95.26, 4 from 5 on his doubles, and winning legs of 15, 14, 14 and 16. So he gets off to a perfect start. Game 2 sees what feels like a Pro Tour clash, doesn't it, between Mark McGeeney and Ted Evetts. McGeeney, of course, the former Lakeside runner-up, up against the former World Youth Champion in Ted Evetts, who's had an up and down week. He's had 2 perfect days, but sandwiched in the middle of that was a disastrous Tuesday, which ultimately cut him any chance of winning Group A. But for McGeeney, another one off the Stockport assembly line. The 52-year-old, a finalist a couple of series ago. He's looking to make it through to yet another here at the Live Lounge, and he takes on the 27-year-old from Stockton. In fact, we've got a player from Stockton in Warwickshire and a player from Stockton on tees in action this evening. But Ted Evetts just going about his own business this evening ahead of a clash against Mark McGeeney.
This really is an interesting evening, isn't it? You've got 2 Reeses, you've got Stockton-on-Tees and Stockport. More stock than Oxo.
First leg, it's Mark to throw first. Game on.
But whose stock will rise? Great to see Mark back. Lovely chap. Easy for us to sit here and say that, but I actually mean that.
85.
Nice bloke. He's been a fabulous dart player for many years. I think he's the epitome of the world-class local player.
45.
And I mean that in the nicest possible sense because of what he's won, what he almost won. Because it's not just about making a Lakeside final when it comes to the McGeeney career.
85.
He's done some stuff that other people who are seen as great haven't done. And he needs respect. He commands it. He might not be at the top of the game right now,
180.
but he can still throw at the best of them. I might need to if Ted keeps throwing like that.
Well, it's actually the second time these pair have met on the
140.
MODUS Super Series stage. And actually their meetings are one apiece following their previous exploits. That was in August last year.
96.
That was a week that Derek Coulson would go on to win. It was
97.
Series 8 week 12. Mark McGeeney got through to the finals that week. Ted Evetts didn't. And actually, there was some big names that didn't make it through. Ted Evetts didn't make it through. Neither did Darryl Pilgrim that week.
100. Mark, you acquire 94.
94 for the opening leg for Mark McGeeney. Doesn't go. And so you'd sense here that Evetts will be a shoo-in to get to darts at
58.
tops at the end of this
Ted, you acquire
combo.
80.
Now, what does he do here? Because on 60, he's been going flat. Now he can't because it's too risky. Got to use the Oki and all of its width.
Game shot in the first leg.
That
Ted
is an
Evetts.
incredible checkout.
And that will sting Mark McGeeney, who felt like he had full control of that first leg on throw.
Second leg,
Evetts
it's Ted to throw first.
at the back
Game
post,
on.
sneaking over the line to break and lead 1-0.
$45.
For Evetts, he's looking to rekindle the form of Monday and Wednesday as opposed to Tuesday. It's been such a weird week from his perspective.
60.
When he's been firing on all cylinders. But he'll just be hoping that what happened in the middle of the perfect days is just an anomaly that we wipe off the blot sheet.
As everybody knows, Ted is
135.
a bit of a foodie, so if we're going to describe his week so far, Monday was an incredible slice of bread. Wednesday was an incredible slice of bread, but what was in the middle was
83.
very ordinary. So his week has been like a plain cheese sandwich, and the cheese wasn't very good. But even sometimes when you take a
58.
really bad sandwich like that and stick it under a grill, it can be really nice. So now it's time to start grilling, isn't it, Ted?
Hey, even a Spam sandwich can taste nice every now and then.
30.
What do you know about Spam? That's what they used to eat in the war.
Nothing wrong with a good Spam sandwich.
You are not 24 years of age saying things like that.
96.
Used to have it occasionally when we came home from school.
Well, Mark is thinking,
123.
I'm
Ted,
finding this just a little bit
167.
late in leg 2. This is decent from Evetts so far. Very decent.
Game shot in the second leg.
Look how
Ted
good
Evetts.
that is. Exceptional. And no nonsense either.
Third leg, it's Mark to
A
throw
3
first.
Michelin
Game
starred
on.
finish, and arguably the most difficult on the dartboard.
Well, he's now had the two biggest finishes that you can get on the board this week. He had the 170 and now the 167 is added to the mix. 2 15-darters for Ted Evetts has given him a 2-0 lead in this match. Now, we thought this group would be fiery. Well, in terms of what we're seeing on the board, it's definitely that way because we really are firing up to what could be a special night on the fabled Live Lounge stage. Reese Robinson got off to a fantastic start against Reese Colley. Ted Evetts looks like he's got out quick here against Mark McGeeney.
140.
Got two real purists with technique here as well. Ted Evetts has got one of the most visually appealing throws of anybody in the world. So smooth as well. But the thing I admire the most about McGeeney's throw is that throwing darts like this, they don't actually look balanced. But the way he throws them, he gets them to hover through the air without a spin, and they land in the board like a plane would on a runway. They just glide through the air. And if you try that at home and you look at the darts in the air, doing that is not an easy thing to do. He places them through the air.
He looks as snug as somebody that's just put on a brand new jacket and it fits like a glove. And he's looking at the 132 to add on top of the 167. But he's not going to find the treble 19 there. And so McGeeney comes back looking at 76 to half the arrears. And despite the brilliance of Ted Evetts, McGeeney has found a power play leg of his own on throw.
Oh, this has got to be a power play on the bull, maybe. He's guaranteed it. Oh, 51. So close.
Ted requires 68.
Such is the nature of which Ted Evetts is playing it right now. You sense that could well be the only opportunity McGeeney gets in this leg. And this is for the double breaker throw. Double 4.
Game shot in the third
That's
leg.
A 14-darter to add to the 2 15s. Ted Evetts is flying at the beginning of this Thursday night. Average of 102.5. 3 from 3 on his doubles. And 3-0 to the good.
I don't know what's on his socks tonight because Ted's got a great sock collection. Socks with fish on them, pizzas, all sorts. It could be anything. I trust you. But that 68 checkout, it was really, really good. But if you look at it microscopically, that dart he's finding in the top of that 60 is making everything easier for him.
It's a little bit like his pal Bradley Brooks, who is celebrating his birthday today. 25 on this Thursday, and he has a bit of an extravagant collection of socks, doesn't he?
Why did I think that Bradley Brooks was older than 25?
Well, Ted Evetts here is running riot. Average at the moment, 108. He's more than rolled his socks up.
There's something on those socks, and I want to know what's on them. Have a guess, everybody. Give us your what's on Ted Evetts' socks guess to our social platforms, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, the lot. Please get in touch and let us know. And by the time he plays in Game 5 against Jamie Owens, we will try and have an answer for you.
Well, this has been a super performance from Super Ted. He's not going to round it off with a ton topper, but he has been in control from dart 1. He looks focused. He looks mean. He looks in the mood. He's left tops after 12. Average of 105. Every single leg in this match is won with 5 visits, and he could keep up that trend here.
Mark McGeeney has not played that bad.
40.
But he's been swept aside.
He's only been afforded 1 dart to the double for the match.
35.
Inside it goes.
Mark, you require 146.
Feels like the first mistake.
And because of that, if Ted Evetts wins the match in this leg, his average will be below a ton because he has to spurn a dart. And if he won it in 16, he would have 100.2 average. So it's just going to be below that particular mark, but he'll take this for starters.
He won't be bothered about that. He just wants to get this done before there's any more bother.
Game shot.
There is no bother whatsoever. It is a victory for Ted Evetts, and it is a big victory for Ted Evetts. It's a big performance to start for Super Ted. Legs of 15, 15, 14 to start, including a 167 checkout. he made that look effortlessly easy. It's Mark McGeeney who averaged 86. That was basically a scoring average. He only got one dart at a double, and that was at the bullseye. But Ted Evetts sweeping past Mark McGeeney 4-0. Coming up after the break, we're going to see J-Lo on this Thursday evening. You might think, which J-Lo? It's Jamie Owens against Reese Robinson. Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where we saw an incredible performance before the break for Ted Evetts. A 4-0 victory against Mark McGeeney and an average of 98.56 en route to it. Legs of 15, 15, 14 and 17, including a 1-6-7 finish. Everything about that performance was nigh on immaculate from Super Ted there. Next up for us, we're going to be watching Reese Robinson again. He got the better of Reese Colley by 4-1 in the opening match of the night, and he takes on J-Lo. No, not that one. Jamie Owens, the 35-year-old from Stockton-on-Tees. Been a bit of a revelation over the last 6 months here at the Live Lounge in Pause. His third appearance here at the Super Series, and every single time he's been here in the past, he has made it through to the Saturday night final. He's looking to do so on a hat-trick of occasions, and in Reese Robinson's previous 7 appearances, only once has he missed out on the Saturday night showdown. But what is going to go down in this third match of the session. This could be fun. This could be fire. It could be exciting. And so who else could we have in the commentary box other than the asset Paul Nicholson?
First leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
We call Reese Robinson the human highlight reel. Well, this could be a tremendous head-to-head. Now, interestingly,
140.
we are privileged to watch these players when they come in the building a couple of hours ago and get a few practice darts on the stage. See what kind of mood they're in.
55.
All the lads were really relaxed because they've played here before. No debutants tonight. But when Jamie Owens
96.
was playing on the stage in warm-up, he was using a different set of darts. He has maybe tested a set on the stage tonight with a view
60.
to using them, but he's actually got the darts in his hand tonight on the stage in match that he used the last time he was here with the front-loaded style.
58.
Yeah, he just said he feels a little bit more comfortable in that. Maybe if he feels comfortable enough, he may look at getting the other set out the pack. He has got it with him, but right now he feels more
57.
comfortable playing with that on the stage. It's a stage that he's made his home. 2 appearances here, 2 finals nights. He's won a Group A scenario before 2, and so he's become really adept towards success here at the
99.
Super Series. And we say that there's a lot of process players here at the Live Lounge. Well, Jamie definitely is one of them that we've seen come from a initial base and really blossom over his previous few
100.
appearances. And he's
Jamie
got off to a quick
108.
start here, leaving 108 after 12. And he's got 6 darts from here to take out the opening leg. And he's going to need the full quota.
48.
That's not too bad. Reese back at the halfway point of the leg. You just get the feeling that Robinson can't dominate Jamie
134. Jamie
from the
requires
off the way
60.
he did Reese Colley. It's always going to be tricky, this, with his angle of attack.
Game shot in the first leg.
Well,
Jamie
he is a former
Owens.
footballer, or should we say he still plays football right now, but that was a top corner job.
Second
What would they
leg
say?
is Reese to throw
Right in the
first.
stanchion.
Game on.
Postage stamp is another one we like to use. Or I don't use it, but I know others do. Or at least they do on Soccer AM. Well, when they used to
100.
have Soccer AM. Top bins, because they used to have a segment where the top corner had a bin in it. And so if you hit it, you hit the top bins.
100.
I always wanted to have a crack at that. Gezi Price was good on that show, wasn't he? He's one of those annoying guys that is good at everything, and he's actually in the final in Dublin tonight in the
57.
Premier League against Nathan Aspinall. 2 guys that were seen as maybe shouldn't have been included in the Premier League this year.
99.
Well, in Dublin tonight, they say to the world, in your face, everyone, because we could be getting £10,000 and a plaque and 5 valuable points. But this game is all about 2 points.
We're in a very fortunate space in the sport right now where
50.
quite literally, wherever you look, you can see darts. Everywhere you go.
Now that you mention it, it is quite amusing how many screens we have in our commentary box. Ours are all focused on the action on our stage, though. And we want to see some big shots. Like 152s and 170s. We've already had a 167 from Evetts
Jamie, you got
in that stunning
152.
display in Game 2.
He looks like Tuesday is just going to be an anomaly and maybe pushing on a spur. But Owens is looking at the 152 here. Reese Robinson took this out in his previous visit. And Jamie Owens was within a double 16 of taking it out there. Robinson looking at 112. And this to save his throw.
Incredible dart, that. How good is the last one?
Game shot in the second leg. Reese Robinson.
I cannot tell you how good that finish is. If you want proof as to how good Reese Robinson
Third
can
leg is
be,
Jamie to
just
throw
keep watching
first.
that on
Game
repeat.
on.
Do you know when you've had a really long night out and you feel chronic the next morning?
60.
And then somebody walks in and gives you a plate of potato waffles and beans. And you think, oh, that's exactly what I wanted. That's what that finish was like. It was waffle and beans.
80.
Not like you to waffle on, Nico.
100.
I've been known to waffle on occasion.
And a good waffle you make. Don't know if I'm talking about the food or not now.
What's your step, Deacon?
Well, this game may be not hitting the heights of the first two, but there's evidence here that it's just
180.
beginning to brim into it.
Oh, it's definitely getting there. Robinson knew he needed a maximum to leave a finish.
161.
So Owens does have 6 darts from 161. We'll assess this throw in the next leg because
90.
you're right, it is very deliberate. But he does something that I think a lot of dart players should do. In fact, he does something that we see from Nathan Aspinall, who we've just mentioned. This is a critical shot. Really good. 15 darter gives him a 2-1 lead. And after the max from Robinson, he knew he had to hit it.
Fourth leg, it's Reese to throw first.
How clinical are players on their doubles this evening? Colley hit the only dart he got at a double. Robinson 4 from 5. Evetts 4 from 7. McGeeney missed one, that was at the bull.
92.
And in this game, Owens is 2 from 3 and Robinson has had 1 dart at a double and taken it. There's been a real clinicism in terms of the finishing for the players so far this evening.
96.
Yeah, I agree. It's really good to see the sharpness that we can get. It doesn't always happen. People have trouble on the outer ring. But look at this throw from Jamie Owens. What he does with his left arm immediately is he goes low and draws his arm up
100.
in a straight line. Like he's trying to go from south to north in a straight line. He's aligning his arm on the target that he wants to go for. It's really, really good technique.
125.
Look at that. He draws his arm up through the board into the eye line and then throws down on the same line.
95.
If he's had any coaching, I assure you that's what they've worked on. Because that is really good.
Well, this game and this night so far has been gloriously
96.
good. Robinson leads 105 after 12. It's felt like the benchmark this evening has been getting things done in 5 visits, which is the hallmarks of a very, very good night of darts.
That's 12. So 93 left for Reese. And now the shot's off. Now, what does Owens do here?
46. Jamie, you got 114.
Doesn't necessarily have to go the 60 route, but most players still do. It's going to be tops again on a combo.
74.
Just over the bar.
Was 45.
He threw all of them cleanly and was unlucky with the tops. And he could be pegged back to 2 apiece here if Robinson can find this 60. Taking his time. Setting himself for a big shot. And a big moment in this match.
Game shot.
And Robinson levels up at 2-2. He hasn't missed a dart at a double in this match. In fact, he's missed just 1 dart at a double all night long so far.
It's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
And interestingly, someone like Robinson who can throw a flat dart very easily, he decided not to do it there.
58.
It does feel like he's going textbook tonight without the trickery. But this time yet, he hasn't left 120 yet.
As I mentioned earlier, there just feels like a little bit more focus about
140.
Reese Robinson. It feels like the showbiz, which sometimes can be attached to him, has just been dismissed tonight. It's all on the job in hand.
57.
Well, some players do struggle with focus and attention spans. Danny Noppert's come out recently saying that he has to work very hard on that because he suffers from ADHD.
57.
Apparently Rob Cross does as well. That was something he spoke about tonight in Dublin. I had no idea.
58.
Everybody's got their own battles. You might look like the most confident dart player in the world, but I guarantee you there's something on their mind. And playing on the hockey can be the greatest
58.
escape.
$134.
This is a really good game. It is getting better
100
all the time.
And Reese Robinson is threatening the biggest move of this game so far because he's threatening the break. He's threatening a 3-2 lead, which would give him the darts in the next
66.
to get the job done. 66 for Robinson. Went bullseye last time, but that was when his opponent wasn't on a finish. Tops for the break. And that is only the second dart he's missed at a double all night long.
Yeah, that might be the worst dart he's thrown tonight. But he is coming back.
96. Reese require 40.
So Tops to establish a lead and establish authority on this contest. Now double 10.
$20.
Well, he tried to get the in off. It clipped
Jamie,
off
you
the
require
barrel, but it
46.
grazes the wire. And this, an opportunity for Owens to save his throw. Just when he's had 4 opportunities to be broken, dismissed by Robinson.
Game shot in the 5th leg.
Yeah, that's really
Jamie
good, isn't it?
Owens.
He gets a chance and takes it. Knows a thing or two about that, doesn't he, in another sport?
6th leg.
If
It's
the goal
Reese
is
to
there
throw
and you've got the ball at your
first.
feet,
Game
you've got to
on.
find a way to get it in the back of the net. It's no different in darts. When you're presented with an opportunity like a 46 checkout, get it hit.
100.
3 words that you can say to yourself when you're on that number. Get it hit. Say it with authority, and it's a really good, positive thing to
58.
say.
Well, that was the equivalent of Foden passing the ball to Haaland inside the penalty area and then tapping it home on the side of his left foot into the back of the net.
100.
So what you're saying is if someone had passed to Darwin Núñez, he would have missed.
Well, we saw that
57.
yesterday, didn't we, in the Aston Villa-Liverpool game? What a howler that was.
He's just a bad Andy Carroll.
76.
Hey, he was all right for you.
Yeah, he was. He was brilliant. That's why we sold him to Liverpool for 35 million quid.
The infamous helicopter on deadline day, wasn't it? Back in the
59.
days when deadline day was a big deal. Jim White's yellow tie, Harry Redknapp out of the car window.
You can take Jim White's yellow tie and I'll raise you
43.
Reese Robinson's dart shirt.
Well, looks like we're going to raise a last leg decider in this match. Robinson, who had opportunities to go
100.
3-2 up. He missed 4 darts at a double to do exactly that in the previous leg. Has got 6 darts here to take us all the way. But he would have to try and break Jamie Owens in any
92.
deciding leg that we do have. He's left himself on a 2-darter to enforce leg 7 for the first time tonight.
Now, what does he do on 90 here?
91. Reese require 90.
Loads of options. Oh, he gambled and it hasn't paid off.
No score.
Oh, that's really gone wrong.
Jamie, you
That's
require
why you don't go
136.
25 with a second dart. He might lose the match. Well, does he try the same thing? Or does he go a different route now? We've seen people this week go 18, 2 double 18s. In this spot, that doesn't make sense. This is where you change the play.
78. Reese require 90.
Does he? Smart.
Once bitten, twice shy. And it is the bullseye, which cost him in his previous visit. And if he doesn't take it, Owens is back for the match.
65.
And he's going to get a look at this 58 to get his
Jamie,
first
you
win.
require 58.
And Robinson might lose this match because of a tactical error.
But he's missed the big number. He's going to have to spurn a dart. Tops, but it's only one in hand. And he does not look comfortable. Stands back. Fires home. Straight in the middle of the bed. He knew that was a bit smelly, but he was able to get over the line in the end. He gets the better of Reese Robinson by 4 legs to 2 to get his campaign off to the perfect start. As for Reese Robinson, he's now halfway through his night with 1 win and 1 defeat. Some contests at times, it brewed up at times. Robinson with a 1-12 finish, well, that was delightful. But Jamie Owens went 3-2 up after Reese Robinson missed 4 opportunities to do exactly that. He then evaded another dart from Reese to make it 3-3. He basically took full advantage of the opportunities his opponent missed. Well, it's a game 4 of the night, and it's Reese Colley up against Mark McGeeney after the break. Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius?
Yes.
Let's do it then.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000.
The new MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new MODUS Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th MODUS Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 MODUS Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new MODUS Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Luke Lidlow!
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series here from the live lounge in Portsmouth, where before the break, Reese Robinson got the better of Jamie Owens by... No, he didn't. It was the other way around. Jamie Owens got the better of Reese Robinson by 4 legs to 2. I've looked at... I tell you what I've done is I've looked at the forward Ted Evetts on my notepad and went with that for Reese Robinson. What an idiot. Anyway, game 4 of the evening sees Mark McGeeney and Reese Colley go toe-to-toe. And somebody's definitely got his finger on the pulse is Paul Nicholson, who's going to dot the I's and cross the T's. Or shall I say, dot the T's and cross the I's?
you can do what you want. You can dot the T's and cross the I's all you want.
First leg, it's Reese to throw first. Game on.
But darts is an equation anyway, isn't it? And something that Reese Colley's going to have to solve.
100.
His biggest weakness this week has been starting poorly. He has to recognise this. But this is a critical game because everybody else has won
100.
apart from these two. Whoever loses after 2 rounds of play is going to be bottom of the table.
100.
The winner will give themselves breathing space. The loser gives themselves a lot of work to do. Both players comprehensively outplayed by their opponents in the first match.
140.
Reese didn't really get going. It was another slow start for him to a session and a 4-1 defeat to Reese Robinson. Wise for
57.
Mark McGeeney. Average 86.5, and that was basically his scoring average. The only dart he got was at the bull against Ted Evetts, who went out 15-15, 14-17 in a 4-0 success. But 2 of those
100.
came as Breaker throws the 15 and the 14, which showed that McGeeney wasn't quite there within 5-visit range. So Reese will feel if he can up his scoring power, he may well get
84,
some
mark
joy.
you by
But the problem he's got
161.
is McGeeney has seemingly upped that scoring power.
$99.
Yeah,
Reese
solid.
160.
From Gladiator. Now, one of the
92,
reasons why
Mark requires
a lot of people
62.
from 81 with 1 dart left go bull is because they want to try and have single to double combination, but Mark doesn't do that.
46.
You see the different
Reese
angle that the
requires
darts
68.
can sometimes go in the board with him as well. One goes in kinking to the right, one kinks to the left.
Double top.
48.
Doesn't go.
Mark
And so
requires
McGeeney will come
16.
back for double 8 to take the opening leg against Fro.
Game
it
shot
goes
the first
eventually.
leg, Mark
McGeeney 1 up. He gets his first leg of the night, and he gets a crucial breaker throw to boot.
Second leg, it's Mark to throw first.
Well, so far in the 3
Game
matches
on.
this evening, we've had all 3 of the scorelines available. 4-1, 4-0, 4-2. So considering you can only have 4 conceivable different scores here at the Super Series, I reckon this might go 4-3.
84.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, the walk-on song that Mark McGeeney uses is actually the same walk-on track
140.
that is used by Hall of Fame wrestler Edge, otherwise known as Adam Copeland, by a band called Alter Bridge.
100.
Recently, Copeland was in Australia for a wrestling promotion and they were singing it back to him when he was in the ring. It was quite the moment.
91.
But when McGeeney was making his appearances at Lakeside, he would walk out to this track. It was brilliant. But he would give it the old horns saying rock and roll.
100.
Mark's walk-on, very underrated.
From the World Championship finals, that was
60.
back in 2018. Had a couple of darts to pick up that title against Glenn Durrant. But other than that, twice a winner of the prestigious Dutch Open tournament. The
60.
toughest Open to win. You have the best part of 3,000 players playing there year in, year out. To win it once is an achievement. To do it twice
59. Mark, you've got 157.
establishes yourself as a great player. And he's got off to a great start here. But he's not going to find the 157 to open up a 2 lead. He actually did it in back-to-back years.
85.
Beat
Reese
Ross
requires
Montgomery by
151.
3-1 in the final in 2017. And then a year later would adverse the
74 left.
Lakeside final defeat to Glenn Durrant by beating him by 3-1 in the final.
91.
Averaging
Mark requires
98.07. Glenn Durrant had an average of 99 in that game, but found himself on the wrong end of proceedings. McGeeney looking at tops.
52.
But
Reese
that, as you
requires
can see from
60.
the overhead angle, stooped very low indeed.
That single was pretty low as well.
Game shot in the second
But it was
leg,
good
Reese
enough.
Colley.
And so was the shot at double. I think Reese needed that, something
Third
nice
leg
and
is Reese
clean.
to throw first. Game on.
Thing is, in a very competitive Group A this week,
42.
even though Reese did not win the group, he was nowhere near his best. We know how good he can be. He's won big titles as well, like the World Open, the British Open, the England Masters.
98.
But the fact that he hasn't been close to his best this week and has still found his way into Group B
60.
tells you that his bad game is still better than most people's B game.
Well, he's become an established winner, hasn't he, on the WDF circuit? And by winning 3 titles in that
140.
system, he's got a lot more than a lot of good players. Well, he's won one more than Matthew Edgar to start with. Although, mind you, I did say great players, didn't I?
125.
You might want to watch your step, Deacon. There's a lot of people watching this who like a bit of Matt Edgar.
30.
You said words about me last week, Nico. Don't you worry about that.
Oh, was he indeed?
98.
Makes me wonder what you say about me when I'm not here.
Nothing I wouldn't say to your face.
Well, if that's the case, it's pretty much the same as you were saying this afternoon, so I can take it.
40.
See, I think that's a technical error. We talked about McGeeney going old school with the counting, but on 233, you look at Vandenberg.
82.
You look at, say, Nathan Aspinall, Michael Van Gerwen. These kind of counters. On 233, their automatic play now is 19s.
177.
Oh, that's incredible, though.
Reese required 94.
Who needs to use 19s on all 3 darts when he can do that? However,
Game
he finds
shot,
himself
the third leg,
losing
Reese
the leg
Colley.
anyway.
He's just beginning to find something here, isn't he, Reese Colley? It was a very slow start
Fourth
to the
leg is Mark
evening.
to throw first. Game
But he's
on.
one of those players that's got that little bit of flair, hasn't he? And once he gets going, he can establish a real rhythm, a real groove.
135.
Yeah, but for some reason, Henry, he can't do it in his first match.
140.
He has played better in his second game all week long, including this. It's becoming a trend.
And if he does get through to Saturday night's final, it is
83.
a trend he's going to have to buck. Because if he gets off to a slow start on Saturday, should he get there, then he's going to find himself in big trouble.
100.
He is a man that's won a week here before. It was a roundabout this time last year. Played in the first Champions Week of 2024. His only weekly win so far, which is a little bit of a surprise.
90.
Put it this way, he's got a weekly title. Robert Thornton doesn't.
131.
There are great players who have not won a weekly title here. They are very difficult to execute.
Thornton did win the Double Trouble Specials week. That's going to be back in a
100.
couple of
Reese
weeks'
required
time.
130.
Following week 6's worth of action. And just to give you a heads up, we'll be announcing the lineup for next week
90.
after the end
Mark
of the 5th
required
game of
93.
the session. So do stay tuned for that.
Yeah, you want to. There's some good names in that list. One very exciting one, as McGeeney goes for 16s.
61.
And may pay the
Reese
penalty for
required
that miss.
14.
Well, Colley's left tops after 12. He is improving as
shot
this
in the
game's
fourth
going
leg,
along.
Reese
And he is
Colley.
finding his radar on targets, particularly tops. 3 from 4 on his doubles. And after a slow start, the man from Dudley is doing quite nicely.
Fifth leg
And he's
is
winning
Reese
this
to throw first.
battle
Game
between the
on.
man from the Midlands and the man from Stockport 3-1.
So you've just had a case for the prosecution. I'm going to be case for the
57.
defence right here. And I'm going to jump in and go to bat for Mark McGeeney here. Because he had 1 dart at a double, averaging 86 in his first game. Let's face it, averaging 86 is not bad
58.
darts. It's actually very good. Here, he's improved by 3%, almost 90. He's had 5 darts at a double and he's 3-1 down. This really is proving that Group B this week has quality. If you don't bring
82.
a 90-plus average, type of form to this group, it's looking like you're going to lose.
140.
Well, Colley is beginning to hit and hit hard. His average in excess of 92. As you mentioned, McGeeney's played steady all night, but steady hasn't quite been good enough in this group.
140.
6 darts on 208 to round off a 4-1 success.
140.
This is a beautiful passage of play. It was a 13 dart in the previous leg. He's left himself on a 2-darter after a dozen here. Reese Colley has ran towards the finishing line here.
62.
Well, I'm now
Reese
convinced
requires
that the
68.
person who's playing Reese's first games this week is a ghost. What's he done there? What's that about?
54.
If he'd hit that double 7, that may have been a world first. Did he even go for treble 18 there, or was that just a slip dart?
Well, the way that he's looking in the background,
26.
that looks like one very bad dart, which he
Reese
almost got
requires
away
14.
with. But what it means now is he's left in a bit of a quandary. He's left on double 7. Now moves inside.
10.
Finds
Mark
himself in an awkward
133.
position. McGeeney 1-3-3 to keep us going.
Yeah, I think Reese looks a bit puzzled on the stage. It's like he's been given an abacus to try and solve string
59.
theory.
Reese require 4.
He doesn't know what happened on that first start a couple of visits ago.
And now he's in the madhouse.
No
And
score.
he's now missed 7 darts to
Mark
win
requires
this contest.
74.
And McGeeney slowly but surely is tiptoeing towards the finishing line that Colley cannot cross.
Yeah.
That's fortunate. That isn't.
54.
Leaves himself
Reese
on double
require
10, but
4.
they say that number 8 is fortunate. It isn't. But number
Game
9
shot, man of
is.
the match, Reese Colley.
He'll be left a little bit puzzled after that one. He has got the points and won this game by 4 legs to 1. But the dart on the 68 checkout, we'll have to speak to him a little bit later to see what was actually going on there. Was it on purpose? Was it not? Well, 4-1 to Colley, gives him the points, and he is off the foot of the table, and Mark McGeeney will have to stay there for now. But to end our first half of our games tonight, it's going to be Ted Evetts against Jamie Owens, and the winner goes to 4 points.
Charlie McGuire, 164. 44. 32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
Oki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
118.
bust it, maybe. The first title he wanted 20. He went 6 double 7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust. And
39.
on that
Charlie
situation there, George
required
Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie,
Threw
you
the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go
Couldn't get the job
it.
done.
Got in the match! And the Red Dragon
George
MODUS
Skate.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Skate!
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where before the break, Reese Colley got the better of Mark McGeeney by 4 legs to 1, averaging just under 85 in that contest. But towards the end was really, really good. A couple of really good legs just to stretch away the lead against the Gladiator. Struggled towards the finishing line. It took it to his 9th dart at a double to win it, but over the line he is, and he picks up his first win of the evening. Now, everybody is on 2 points, apart from Mark right now, but that is going to change come the end of this match, because
First leg is
victor
Ted to
of this
throw
clash
first.
between
Game
Ted
on.
Evetts and Jamie Owens will move on to 4 points, and at this embryonic stage of proceedings would have a slender advantage over the rest.
135.
But how quick Group B can be is by the end of this next match, we will be at the quarter-way point of proceedings
96.
in this particular group.
So in NFL terms, this is the end of quarter 1. Things will get turned around, and then
140.
everybody has the rest of the night off and comes back tomorrow for the second half. And Jamie knows a thing or two about games of 2 halves.
100.
Yeah, once upon a time, an established non-league footballer, played in the FA Vars final for
140.
Stockton Town in 2018. But Ted Evetts here, in his first match, was ridiculously good against Mark McGeeney. Legs of 15, 15, 14, 17, took out a 1-6-7 finish, was 4 out of 7 on his doubles, an average of 98.5. And he looks like he's continuing in that vein here.
Yeah, somebody's in the mood.
$54.
When you're sharp and you're in the mood, that's when you want to make a statement.
And I don't think I'm being unfair here to say that we have not
100.
seen
Ted
Ted
required
Evetts'
32.
best starts here at the Super Series over the last year or so. But he's perhaps getting close to demonstrating it here on this Thursday night. That first start's awkward, has to pick a side. He's going to have to go bottom side now, and he has to shuffle all the way across.
No score.
Flipped off the barrel, but
Jamie,
couldn't find a way
161.
through.
$51 would have left the bull. And he knows a thing or two about
137.
finishes to
Ted
steal
required 32.
legs. More so at the end of a game. Ask Victor Tingstrom. Still on the outside. He's got to hit this. Somehow.
Game
Amazing
shot, the first
dart.
leg, Ted Evetts.
Really, really good. Because if he doesn't hit that, he knows he loses the leg. And he
Second
thinks
leg
that
is
was
Jamie
good.
to throw first.
You're right, Ted.
Game on.
That had a little bit of extra seasoning, didn't it? So let us quash the debate. If you were guessing at home
180.
what was on the socks of Super Ted, no, it wasn't a 180. No, it wasn't a pizza. And honestly, you could have guessed 1,000,000 times. You still wouldn't get it. Apparently, on his socks,
100.
the island of Santorini and a donkey. I told you you had loads of different socks.
140.
Jamie Owens went 5 in. He was looking to hit the back of the net in terms of a perfect 9-dart leg there. But Ted Evetts' firepower is being met with something similar in this match. Jamie Owens has been able to keep better pace of Ted Evetts' nigh on perfect darts than Mark McGeeney was able
97.
to in game 2 of the evening. McGeeney was averaging 86.5. Couldn't really keep up with the explosive nature of Evetts. But he's left himself a 2-darter after 9 to level up at 1 apiece. Pretty much the same scenario Ted found himself in the opening leg of this contest.
39. Jamie Maguire, 84. $60.
Don't be too disappointed to miss double 12 twice there. Cheer yourself up by looking at the scoreboard, knowing that you're coming back, and just get rid of it next time. If you spend 10 seconds being negative, you're more likely to have a negative visit next time.
58. Jamie Maguire, 24.
Double 12 for 1 apiece. Now, I think this will be a kind double for Jamie. The way his darts going, the way he throws, something down the middle like that is really going to suit his angle of entry, the way he throws the dart. And he finds it first dart to level up 1
Third leg
apiece.
is Ted to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, I think you're right because of the linear nature of his throw. If you were to sit on the oche, which is on this stage here, and have Jamie throwing over your head, I guarantee you that forearm of his on his left side will be going up and down in a perpendicular way. The human body is actually not supposed to do that naturally. It's something you have to do
100.
somewhat unnaturally. What the lower arm bones want to do naturally is just
58.
turn away a little bit. That's why dart players get wrist problems, elbow problems, because we're constantly fighting against the anatomy of the human being.
83.
Well, we speak about how Jamie Owens is accomplished in one sport and another. Well, Ted Evetts is also that way inclined because he's a very handy golfer, and
100.
him and Reese Colley have been spending some time this week on the driving range.
I think you're stretching a bit saying that Reese Colley's an established golfer. Ted Evetts showed me a video from their
58.
driving range exploits from earlier today, and Reese was pleading, don't show him that.
Well, is that bad? I wouldn't even say that his effort was 4 right, it was 5 right.
140. Ted Maguire, 167.
Golf is not a game that can be mastered, it just can be played. Simple as that. The words of Bagger Vance. Hang on a minute, this looks familiar. It's not going to be another one.
94.
Took it out
Jamie
en
Maguire,
route to his
104.
opening 4-0 win against Mark McGeeney. But this is the type of finish which is very much in Jamie Owens' range. Very
Game shot
much
in
in
the
his
third leg,
range.
Jamie Owens.
And he gets the break he needs in this contest. He establishes control at 2-1, and he looks
Fourth
in
leg is
control,
Jamie
doesn't
to
he?
throw first. Game on.
Averaging a ton at this present moment in time. And he's had to do that to counteract some of the imperious darts that Ted's been
56.
throwing in this match.
Looks like a very intense individual on the oche, doesn't he, Jamie?
But it's not a surprise because you look at people that come from other sports, particularly contact team sports. Jamie of football, Goen Price in darts, Goen Price in rugby to turn into darts.
60.
There is that sense of that team aspect where you celebrate a try as if it means anything. You celebrate a goal as if it means everything. That's just something that's then transferred into another sport.
57.
Now all we need is a UFC fighter to turn to darts. I wonder what kind of intensity they would bring.
We already got Richie Burnett for that.
134.
He kicked on, didn't he, to progress his way to the next round of the World Seniors?
Just.
Our
98.
good pal and commentary colleague Chris Mason is currently in action against Mark Dubbridge.
Bristol Derby.
Probably the worst draw for the pair, if the truth be told.
Perfect first start from Ted. If he walks away with one treble here,
98.
he'll be disgusted, and he is.
Owens may feel 6 starts of 194.
174.
I watched Jamie practice earlier on this evening, and he wasn't
148.
missing that treble 20. He's not missing hardly anything. He's pretty much averaging at least a treble a turn. But hang on a second. To break back, double 14. Well, these two are hitting each other where it hurts. They're fighting fire with fire. It was the 104 in the previous leg from Jamie Owens, and now the 148 from Ted Evetts. He knew that stung, and that's a haymaker blow for the former part-time footballer.
After that 174, Jamie Owens was thinking, do you know what? I'm making a pizza right now, and it's absolutely ready to be taken out of the oven and cut. And then Evetts just gets a can of sardines and pours
96.
them on the pizza. I'm just going to ruin that fourth leg for you. The face of Evetts told you everything you needed to know. He knew that was a naughty finish, and it was brilliant.
140.
How'd you like them pineapples? You shouldn't put pineapples on pizza, Nico.
96.
I agree with that, actually. There's only one fruit
96.
that belongs on a pizza. Actually, two. Because one of them's tomatoes. Can you guess what the other one is?
99.
I'll guess in the next
Taken
leg.
by
Because the way this game's
125.
going, this 125 is going to go.
I wouldn't be surprised. But now I would be surprised because he can't do it. That's a great clean-up job, though. That's very, very encouraging for Ted. Even when he has a bad first start, he's cleaning up brilliantly.
58.
Tremendous
Ted
game.
by 14.
Jamie might be about to go behind. Don't leave yourself on double five again.
Game shot
Well
the
done,
fifth
Ted.
leg, Ted Evetts.
Definitely looks sharper tonight, doesn't he? Because over the last few days, he's been left on double five more than
Sixth
any
leg
other
is
player.
Jamie to throw first. Game on.
Come on, then. One more fruit that's allowed in a pizza apart from a tomato.
100.
Onions?
That's a vegetable. One more guess.
Would be peppers.
134.
Also a vegetable.
That's what I said. It wouldn't be peppers.
The answer is the fig.
90.
A prosciutto and fig pizza is perfectly allowed.
Everyone's looking on the Waitrose catalogue right now to see whether they exist.
140.
They do. Well, Jamie would probably put a Parmo on a pizza because he is from Teesside.
134.
And he's looking to tee up a last leg decider. But he's on the back foot on throw. Evetts 6 on 227 to get the job done.
Are you trying to say that
41.
if Jamie was to take out like 6, he would be involved in a last leg Teessider?
Ted, take this leg out.
That would be a great nickname for him, though, wouldn't it? Last leg
36.
Teessider. It's got a ring to it.
Well, Owens has only left himself on 1-4. I say only left himself on 1-4. We have seen finishes of 104 and 148 in this contest. There's an opportunity to win the match. How handily can Evetts leave it?
58.
He would have
Jamie
expected
got
a lot more than
141.
just leaving himself on 128.
Yeah, but it's easier than 148, which he's already got.
57. Ted Duke 128.
For the match, he's already had one big finish in this game. Who's going to add another? Needs to find the treble and the ball. Cannot find, and so Owens to take us to a last leg decider for the first time tonight. Looking at 84. May just be a poke at the bullseye here.
Or will it be double 12? You said, Henry, that double 6 should be good for him.
Game shot.
It has been twice.
Jamie Owens.
Anything in that range. 10, 6, 13 on that side of the board, and then you go the other side. 8s, 11s, 14s. Maybe even double 9 as well. They should be good for him because of his angle of entry and his line of sight. They just perfectly weight down the centre for him.
45.
Well, this is the thing for left-handers who are left-eye dominant. They will see double 6 like right-handers with right-eye dominance the way they say double 11.
140.
And most right-handed players with right-eye dominance love double 11. In fact, the only thing to dislike about it is that it's an odd number.
93.
You get the sense that this is a who blinks first scenario.
57.
Is this going to be a stare-down game then?
No, we ain't got time for that tonight.
Well, apparently we've got time for our first last leg decider of the night.
99.
Could be a key last dart, that. 9 darts in, 40 ahead, but for how long? Not long.
80.
Now it's Jamie that's 40 ahead. Toying with each other. Here he goes. Hitting the flights and nestling them.
125.
Well, that's what happens when you hit the flights from the angle. If you don't hit the exact spot that you need, the flights will push the dart away.
60.
Well, for the first 6 legs, this was a sparkling contest. The last one has been overshadowed with the dread and the edge and the nerves that come with a last leg decider. Evetts isn't going to take out the 139. We've already seen on this stage a clutch 170 finish to 59. Win a game from Jamie Owens. Can he find a clutch 164 to win this particular match? Not to be. So from this point onwards, Evetts should get a dart at tops at least to win it.
46. Ted, you require 80.
To double his tally and to put himself in control of this group is going to be one, a double top, and he has to move to the left.
60. Jamie, you require 118.
To be the first person to 4 points in the table. A combination that involves tops. It is a strength.
Game shot.
Never in doubt, was it?
Owens.
As soon as that first dart perfectly hit the treble in the bed, you just expected it to go. And Jamie Owens goes to the top of this Group B. He beats Ted Evetts in a last leg decider. Evetts, who looked like when he hit that 1 for 8, was just beginning to go through the gears. That's the second ton plus checkout of the match for Jamie Owens. The 118 joins the 104 earlier on. Well, he is at the top of the midway point of the night following 2 decent performances. The second half of the evening's action will get underway after the break. Reese Robinson takes on Mark McGeeney. But before that, on Pluto TV, when we return, we'll have the lineup for week 6 for you. Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, midway through the Thursday night action here at the Live Lounge Reports. And this is what we've seen so far. 2 wins from 2 for Jamie Owens, including a 4-3 success against Ted Evetts before the break. You put in the performance of the night to kick off his evening against Mark McGeeney. This is how the table looks then. Mark McGeeney, the only player yet to get off the mark. Jamie Owens at the top on 4, and everybody else scrapping it out on 2 points respectively. And for Mark McGeeney, there's an opportunity to really make this group tighter here. He takes on Reese Robinson in the next game. And if he can win this, despite the legs difference going in his favour, he won't move up any positions in the league table. But what he can do is put himself in a very good suit in terms of clawing his way back against the others. But before we get the next game underway, it's time to tell you who's involved in Week 6, which includes the reigning Women's Tour champion. To end her fairy tale year of return with a title, double 4.
Game's on!
The golden
Gemma Hayter!
Game's on a third leg. Gemma Hayter.
Not to be this time, so it's Gemma Hayter just composing herself. And she hits the double.
great shot there.
ADC Windmill Championship Tour winner, Gemma Hayter!
The newly crowned Tour champion Gemma Hayter is one of the headline names in action, but the name at the top of the list in Group A, I think, is going to be the one that gets all of the headlines. Kenya's Peter Achuri is going to be here, the star of the World Championship qualifier, the man who could play under the most extremes of pressure. Yes, that's Vuvuzelas after 140 visits. He's going to be here alongside Leonard Gates. Noah Lynn Van Leuven's going to be back as well. Jamie Lewis, looking forward to seeing his return as well in Group B. Martin Thomas, Kevin Burness and Cole Coleman makes up an intriguing Group C. That's live Monday, 9:30 on Pluto TV. And yes, a little bit of history as well, because Kenya will become the 39th different nation to be represented here at the MODUS Super Series since we flung open the doors back in the old setup in Southampton in July 2022. But Game 6 here, as we move back to the current action, sees Reese Robinson take on Mark McGeeney. For Reese, he's looked in decent nick, an average of 95 in his first game. Missed doubles towards the end of his second match against Jamie Owens. What do you think we will see from Reese in this one, Nico?
He might see this as an opportunity to open his shoulders, to maybe reach into the bag of tricks, but only if he gets the right spots. McGeeney has played steadily tonight, but he's only had one leg successfully completed.
First leg, it's Reese to throw first. Game on.
Admittedly, he's only had 6 darts at a double, but the players that have been playing against him have been very effective in the first 9.
97.
Yeah, the cat's out the bag. On social media, there's been quite a lot of traffic about Peter Achuri doing talk shows and promotional stuff in Kenya.
58.
And it is somewhat symmetrical that Peter is coming here for his Super Series debut, because he is the first Kenyan in the building to play.
59.
But not the first Kenyan of sorts, because all of the dartboards are made in Kenya.
100.
And I should make a promise that it will be a Vuvuzela free zone, the Live Lounge, next week.
I think Peter's going to be very happy about that.
140.
That was... They say party atmosphere, don't they, at events? Well, that quite literally was a party atmosphere in Nairobi that day.
100.
And if you're coming next Saturday, leave your vuvuzelas at home. They will be confiscated at the door. Look at the ball, Reese. Look at the ball. Oh, okay, don't.
100.
Well, maybe he wants to leave 105 because he wants to go 25 tops. It reeks of Robinson.
140. Reese, you got 105.
105 for Robinson for the opening leg. Ball. 15. But the tops doesn't quite
65.
go.
Mark, you got 103.
Tops for McGeeney. Doesn't go.
83.
Robinson
Reese,
back for double
40.
top. To take out the opening leg. In
Game
it
shot,
goes.
the
1-0
first leg,
Robinson
Reese
leads.
Robinson. Second leg, it's Mark to throw first. Game on.
Well, maybe this night is going to be very frustrating for Mark. He might have to lift his level by about 5%
16.
to get a few more chances. His proximity to the 60 has been really good. But it may have to be just a little sharper.
56.
That's the dart he's looking for.
100.
He can just hover it above that dart and let it kiss the flight and skid in. But look at the silky nature of that throw. When it's right and when he's 100% fit, Reese Robinson is one of the best technicians in the sport.
But he is one of those players where everything has to go right, and when it doesn't, it can go in the opposite direction. What looks so simple can sometimes look very, very hard.
Yes, absolutely. He's a maverick. When he gets it right, he is flawless.
44.
But he has still got as many bad games in him as good games. Striking a balance for Reese has not been easy over the years.
43.
But Robinson's got a sense opportunity here. McGeeney not leaving himself on a finish after a dozen. He's left himself on 2-6-1 as Robinson. Treble leaves him on a finish. He's found that. What do you give for another? Finds another excellent visit.
You can say that again. That was a beautifully crafted third dart. He didn't throw it too hard either. He almost caressed it into that treble 20 bed.
85. Reese, you got 121.
Decided to go 25 first, leave himself on 96, which is a risky ploy of his opponent on 113. Particularly now he's hit the treble with dart 2.
81. Mark, you got 113.
I think the jury's out on that 25 first play. It does have merits, but it doesn't come without risk.
74 left.
Yeah, when you're not sure, just ask the referee. That's what they are there for.
Reese, you got 40.
His doubling by and large tonight has been decent. But that's a wild one, and there has been a...
Game shot.
Perhaps showing there has been the odd weird one in there for Reese Robinson in that leg. He has mopped it up in the end. He has got the break. He does lead 2-0. And for Mark McGeeney...
Reese to throw first. Game on.
This night is going from bad to worse. He's only picked up a leg so far.
His last game
94.
is against Jamie Owens, who is currently top of the table. Things do not get any easier. Now, we did have somebody who didn't win a game over the last 4 days. In our Cypriot friend, Mr. Stiliano. But this is a different matter for Mark McGeeney. He's been a world-class player. And he's not played bad tonight. It just so happens that the players he's up against are playing sharp. They are punishing
45.
every little mistake he makes. And here it goes again. Mark scores 45.
100.
And that, in a sense, is punishing a bad score. He's just lost his timing a little bit now, and this is where you've got to press the timeout button. Just have a big deep breath. Do it slowly, and then just
57.
start again.
Meanwhile, Robinson, you have to say, is doing a real professional job here. He's not getting
60.
sucked into the troubles that McGeeney's got at this present moment in time. He's just hammering home and doing as good a job as he possibly can. 6 darts on 207 to open up a 3-0 lead in this game.
37.
Whether you like it or not, that was actually a very wise thing to do. Leaving 170 is easier than leaving 167, even though Ted Evetts would probably dispute that because he hit it earlier.
170.
I don't think he cares. He's hit both this week. But Reese Robinson isn't going to add that to his human highlight reel.
70.
Even that makes sense. 225s get you to a 2-darter.
Conventional Reese Robinson. What have you done with this man?
180.
More like it for Mark.
But the way he's been rolling tonight, Robinson hits this.
Game shot.
That's exactly what's happening to McGeeney tonight. This is the kind of stuff that was happening to Ted Evetts on Tuesday. McGeeney puts in the maximum. He's well positioned on 73, and Robinson takes out the ton plus finish. This game is all about timing. You put in your best scores.
100.
It could be at the wrong time.
Well, that is Reese's third ton plus check of the night. Twice he's taken out the ton. He's also had the 112.
28.
There are times when you play darts that you think, if I had 4 and they had 3, they'd still beat me. Sometimes that's because they're playing so brilliantly. Other times it's because their timing is so much better than yours.
Well, there was a joke back in Phil Taylor's pomp that he should play with just 2 darts and 2 darts only. He was that much better than the rest of the field.
He really was. He was putting in averages over 105 well before anybody did it on a regular basis.
60.
Well, there is some good news from the World Seniors tonight. Our close colleague Chris Mason has prevailed against Mark Dudbridge, the former World Master. Congratulations to Chris, who is going to play the defending champion in the next round.
100.
John Henderson.
91.
And I think Chris Mason's going to enjoy the challenge, if anything else.
Set it up, Mark. Very well done. Next mission is to complete the leg and make sure that Robinson doesn't get a look at what he's about to leave. He was trying to leave double 1.
Mark require 40.
And that is why we call him a maverick. And that is a stray from Mark McGeeney. And he cannot recover the situation.
Require 40.
And so Robinson will come back for double top to round off a 4-0 win. Double 5. Doesn't go. McGeeney's going to get 3 more. In fact,
16.
He's going to get as many darts in this leg at a double as he pretty much has done for the entirety of the night. It's double 4.
Game shot.
McGeeney's on the board.
McGeeney.
That felt like heavy weather. That felt like hard work. He's got a leg to chalk onto the tally.
Fifth leg is
but the problem he's got is Reese Robinson here is throwing for the match.
Yeah, and he's going to be annoyed. He's thinking it should have been 4-0. I should be off the stage right now.
92.
You can take that one of 2 ways. You can constantly think about it, and it doesn't leave your mind for about 5 minutes, and the next thing you know, it's 3-3. But there are other players who go through a moment like that and say, right, I should have had this by now. I'll just do it now.
39.
You can only understand the mind of a dart player if you've actually been on the stage and gone through it.
58.
We've spoken to many players with our Story of series, our Tungsten Talks, about the mentalities of certain situations.
100.
Being a dart player for 10 to 20 years, it ages you. It's like a lot of other careers. You are engrossed in this sport
41.
more than 16 hours a day. You can't take your mind off it. Sleep is so important. And when you aren't playing, it's really important
43.
to escape it. Get away from social media. Get as far away from darts as possible to make sure that you're sharp when you come back.
92.
Why do you think Michael van Gerwen takes so many holidays? It's got nothing to do with wealth. It's got everything to do with resetting the brain.
Managing time is such an
57,
important commodity,
Mark, you've got
particularly
170.
at the top level. Both players on the big fish. McGeeney to save the match. Robinson's going to get a crack at the same finish to go and win the contest here.
60.
If only
Reese
there was another
170.
route that he could take for a 170, but there's only one. Is it this one? I can't believe that hasn't gone in the 60.
130. Mark, you've got 110.
It was an unhappy ricochet there, wasn't it, with dart 2. McGeeney to make it 3-2.
90.
Just below, and that
Reese
could be
require
curtains of the
40.
Gladiator. Robinson comes back for tops to complete a 4-1 win. Was not happy with that dart. 40 was in, but he's going to have to come back for double 10. He's missed 4 now to win this match. But he's not going to miss a
Game
fifth.
shot and the
As
match.
Reese Robinson seals a 4-1 win over Mark McGeeney. That's win 2 of the night for the man from Hull. He gets the better of Mark McGeeney, who's still yet to pick up a point this evening. This the tail of the tape. Robinson winning despite an average only just over 80. The highlight of the ton checkout coming up after the break. Here is Reese Colley against Ted Evetts. Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius?
Yes.
Let's do it then.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000.
The new MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new MODUS Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th MODUS Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 MODUS Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where before the break, Reese Robinson got the better of Mark McGeeney by 4 legs to 1. Our next game sees Reese Colley and Ted Evetts go toe-to-toe on the live lounge stage. It's game 7 of our evening session. These two played in Group A and now adversaries in Group B, both on 2 points. The winner will join Reese and Jamie, Reese Robinson of course that is, on that 4-point haul. For Reese, hasn't quite got going to the best of his abilities so far, and I think that's a fair reflection of his evening. Averages of 84 and 73, whereas Ted Evetts got out the gate very strongly, average of 98.5 against Mark McGeeney. Showed signs of good stuff, had a 148 finish against Jamie Owens, average just under 90, but a little bit of inconsistency crept into his play. He was hit by a couple of ton toppers as well from the man from Teesside, and we'll see how he responds here, because there was a point midway through that second match where we were thinking Ted Evetts is really in a groove here.
He may still be in a groove. With a game to go, Evetts would love to be on 4 points. He finishes tonight against Reese Robinson, which won't be easy. But what we've seen from Robinson tonight is almost typical of what he does in a daily campaign. He starts strong and tails off. He may be getting Robinson at the right time tonight.
It's Reese to throw first. Game on.
But when's the right time to play Reese Colley? Not right now. Because as the day goes on, he tends to get better.
55.
We're about to find out if that's the case. But based on what these guys have been doing, well, in the last 12 hours, we should have had somebody on the stage saying, 4 please.
140.
Reese Colley now driving.
They swapped the tee for the oche here at the live lounge
44.
in Portsmouth. These two making each other, well, good acquaintances over the course of the last 4 days, united by their shared love of
96.
golf and hitting a few balls at the driving range.
Chilly work. And based on where they've done it in Portsmouth,
85.
very windy work. That's if you can get the ball off the tee.
Fair to say that Ted comfortably won their exchange on the range.
We're gonna have to have a golf day or some sort of
40.
tracer technology challenge with some of these golf-loving dart players. We won't be inviting Hope I Poor because he's better than Scratch. But I can imagine doing it with these two. Maybe Aaron Monk, who hits a mean golf ball when he hits it right.
Ted, you require 84.
Simon Whitlock hits a very comical golf ball because it's usually very high and bends like a banana.
Trouble 14 leads double 11.
73.
Inside it goes. So Colley is going to get a look at the 95 here. And he's looking with a 19 to the first dart. He's going to go double-double. Doesn't get. And so Evetts will return for 11. Decided to persevere there, leave himself on 38. Evetts coming back for 11.
Just gets the single.
Game shot in the first
That's a
leg,
tidy
Ted
job.
Evetts.
And whether Reese left 38 or 40 right there, it really doesn't matter.
Second leg, it's Ted to throw first. Game on.
It is Friday now, so maybe Ted's already thinking about what kind of socks he's going to wear tonight. Do you think when he's packing for darts, because this is something
60.
as a dart player you have to get used to, he goes to his sock drawer, which is probably quite large.
55.
Okay, so we'll take the Santorini and donkey socks. I'm sure he's got some hot dog socks.
96.
I wonder what else he brought with him. But that's one thing, I think, if any aspiring dart player is watching this and they think, tour life must be awesome. Don't get me wrong. It can be. But there are parts of it you must have to make peace with. I've spoken to many dart
96.
players about this, and the one thing they hate doing more than anything else, apart from the obvious spending time away from family,
140.
it's the constant packing and unpacking. Over the course of time, it gets really laborious.
59.
There are stories of players who've literally come home to swap one suitcase for another because they got to head back out the door again.
Absolutely right.
140.
We've all done it.
Well, neither of these want to be packing before too long. They'll hope to be here on Saturday night. They play the full complement
60.
of a week.
Rishukai 107.
Colley looking to level up at 1-1. Looking at 107. Looking to break back. Looking at double top.
87.
Well, that drags low.
130.
It's just a wee fish. But it's a big shot. And that's the second time tonight he's hit the blocker
75.
and it's veered left.
Rishukai 20.
Almost hitting it too true.
Game
And he's
shot in
missed
the
his
second
opportunity
leg.
to
Reese
make
Colley.
it 2-0 as Reese Colley levels this encounter up.
Third leg
I
is
wouldn't
Reese
say
to throw
flat would
first.
be the word
Game
to
on.
describe Reese, but it's definitely not his usual self, is it, this evening?
100.
I think it's difficult for these guys going from Group A to Group B. There is such a thing as darting lag here in this week. We suffer from it too. We work all week.
42.
You do the early ones on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You're finished by 2:30, 3 o'clock. Then you start getting ready for the next day. But then Thursdays and Fridays,
95.
you go to late. In many different careers, any different vocations, it's difficult. Jurgen Klopp talked about the early game on Saturdays, how they were difficult for players to prepare for that.
99.
It messes with sleep patterns,
96.
meal patterns as well. Just think about what it's like for a dart player in these guys' position. You'll have breakfast on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday around 7 a.m.
140.
You might have dinner around 7 p.m. But think about the first
60.
3 days of the week. Once dinner's over, you can relax, take it easy. Then you come to Thursday, and then you've got to play post-dinner.
60. Rishukai 150.
And post-tea time as well. Quite literally in two cases. Another one of them. Well, Evetts cannot take out the 150.
114.
Evetts has pretty much
160.
taken everything out in this range this week. For the 160s are going to be added to the 167 and the 170. So Colley to turn a
63.
1-0 deficit
Rishukai
into a 2-1
36.
lead, looking at double 18.
Ted required 97.
That's only a disaster if Ted hits 97 out, which he might just do.
Game shot in the
Clean
third
as a
leg, Ted
whistle.
Evetts.
It's one of those types of executions you just sit there and admire.
Fourth leg is Ted to throw
From Ted
first.
Evetts there.
Game on.
Interesting, you talk about the Lago from Group A to Group B. And I spent a little bit of time with Danny Van Tripe last week during his exploits. And he on the
96.
Wednesday night, because he knew he was going to be in Group B, made a conscious effort to go and play at a local competition. And part of the reason behind it was that he wanted to get acclimatised to playing later in the night. And the finals of those competitions go to 10, 11 o'clock. He tried to stay up for as long as possible so that he could then sleep during the night, get up later, and realign his body clock
140.
in line with the time he was playing in the night.
Yeah, and it didn't work out too badly for Danny. And I suppose these guys
85.
have the same level of experience as Van Tripe because he was here before he got his tour card 2 years ago. So he knew a thing or two about those exploits when he was here with...
187 left.
Jan van Veen it was back then. That's how long ago it was. And Owen Rulos.
138.
I'm trying to think who he was scootering around Portsmouth with.
140.
Ariane Konterman?
No,
No,
it wasn't.
127.
Watch out. 127 coming in. On the bullseye.
102.
Not quite.
Reese, you require 96.
Beautiful. Double 18. Now he
Game
does
shot in
get
the
double
fourth
9 and we've got a
leg. Reese
tied
Colley.
game. I tell you who we're thinking of. It's the person who won week 12 and then Group A and Champions Week concurrently. Give me his name.
Jeroen Miak.
Jeroen Miak.
Great guy as well as Jeroen. Good to see him back. I haven't seen Jeroen for a while.
85.
I wonder if his points have grown since then. They keep growing every time he comes here.
Got some tips off a Conan Whitehead, I hear. Well, this game landlocked at 2-2. Reese Colley with a 12 darter in the last to send us to an even kilter.
Yeah, it's a great leg, isn't it? Trying to even the ledger for the week because Evetts is 2-1 up in the head-to-head. Winning on Monday and Wednesday, both by 4 legs to 1. And the meat and the sandwich was a 4-3 win on Tuesday for Reese.
140.
Back-to-back 140s, threatening the break of Reese here.
60.
Reese's pal Dan Nichols didn't do too badly this afternoon, but he's got a lot of work to do on Friday, as the chasing pack have all got a lot of work to do to get to the top 2.
93.
Carl Wilson and David Wazuski looking very comfortable in the top third of Group C.
125. Tedrick, 128.
Well, it was a good start to the leg from Ted, but he's been forced to take out this 128 because Colley's left himself on a 2-darter after 12.
91.
And it has been the type of match where mid-range finishes like this have been taken out, and taken out on more than one occasion.
59.
But the 91 isn't going to be
Ted
added to the
require
96 and the 97.
I think this is a massive shot for Ted. Take it out. He's got the game in the palm of his hand.
Game shot in the fifth.
Really
leg,
crucial
7.
this. Because the way tonight is going, in a condensed way, it's starting to have
Sixth
the
leg,
same
it's Ted
feel
to
as
throw
Tuesday,
first.
where
Game
he's
on.
the better player in the matches, but may not be walking away with the points. If he misses that tops, I think he loses this game. But now that he hits it, I think he wins it.
60.
As for Reese Colley, that could be a big psychological blow. He's
100.
just beginning to get better. His performances are getting better as the night goes along. And he may well have been feeling as if his game was in a position now to really assault Ted Evetts, to really assault the rest of the night.
87.
But Evetts with a big blow there. Not the biggest of finishes, but it was enough to land a major jab on Colley.
100.
If you're going to improve and compete at this level, there's a range of finishes you should practice more than any other.
82.
It's between 60 and 130. Now, that's a big range, but there's a practice game
60.
which is perfect for it. It's called 10 up, 1 down. Start on 60 points. In fact, you can start on any low number. As soon as you hit a checkout, you go up 10. But if you miss one, you go down 1. There's constant
85.
variation. It's a great game. You can play it on your own or with someone else. The more you do it, the more useful it becomes.
45.
Well, failure to find a power trouble there for Reese means that Evetts has got 6 here from 187 to win the match, and it would be a win that puts him onto 4 points in the group. Going about his business okay here. Goes for the ball,
101.
hits the 25, and he leaves himself an 86.
What he's done by getting the
16.
25 is
86.
he brings the ball into play if he needs it. But if the 18s are cooperative, he might not need the ball. He needs double 7.
79. Reese, you require 136.
Well, on a night where we have seen 5 ton-plus checkouts, Colley isn't going to hit a big one to take us all the
60.
way.
Ted,
And
you
so
require 7.
Evetts is 7 points away from 4 points on the board. Double 2 to complete the job.
5. Reese requires 76.
Very displeased. Does Reese take us all the way?
That
is not a bad try at all. He threw all 3 darts really well there.
Game shot and the match,
double 1
Ted
wins
Evetts.
it for Ted Evetts. He gets the better of Reese Colley by 4 legs to 2. Moves him on to 4 points in the group. And it means he now is in a very, very good suit going forward. So, a 4-2 victory for Ted Evetts there against Reese Colley. We're off for a short break, and when we return, we're going to be seeing Mark McGeeney and Jamie Owens battle it out. Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius?
Yes.
Let's do it then.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D. Darius Lewandowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy.
£25,000. The new MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new MODUS Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th MODUS Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 MODUS Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new MODUS Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
Welcome back to Pluto TV's MODUS Super Series action, live in Group B as we go into the early hours of Friday. Thank you for staying with us. 2 more Jamie Owens games to come, but 1 more game for everybody else, including Mark McGeeney, Ted Evetts and Reese Colley. And we now have 3 players on 4 points, 1 on 2, and McGeeney in the basement on 0. So getting off the mark here would be very, very handy before he starts in game 3 on Friday night. The problem with the position that McGeeney's in is that if he doesn't get a win in this fixture,
First leg, it's Mark to throw first. Game on.
he will see everybody else play 2 more games before he plays another one. If he doesn't win this game, Henry, he's going to be cut adrift.
100.
And with the experience that he's garnered over his career and in this building, he's going to know that.
You know he's in big trouble. Right, so the other side of the equation, Jamie Owens could really sprint clear at the top of the table for winning this one. Two games played.
60.
2 wins to his name.
You ever noticed where Jamie holds the dart in his non-throwing hand before he
57.
clasps it? It's almost like he's going to throw it like a knife. Holds it right at the end of the point.
$125. $100.
Bet you don't get many football matches still playing at this time. It's 12:20. That's the difference between darts and football.
58. Jamie, you've got
I've had a couple of
164.
kickoffs at that time, but that's because of time difference. I've seen a fair few 0-0s as well. Luckily, this one ain't going to end that way.
Darts never ends 0-0.
78 scored, 86 left.
That's why it should work more in America, because they hate goalless
96.
things.
Mark, you've got 158.
There was a goalless game in Super League, wasn't there, not too long ago?
Yeah, that wasn't thrilling.
I bet Mark Wilson would have been
84.
overjoyed if he
Jamie
got given that
68.
game.
He did get that game.
Did he?
He did.
He needs to have a word with someone. Owens tops, surely 1-0.
Game shot in the first
It was just
leg,
never in
Jamie
doubt, was it?
Owens.
How good is his top shooting? His combinations tonight have been exceptional.
Second leg is
71,
Jamie to throw first. Game on.
118, 104.
He's been like a human compass this evening. North, east,
100.
south, west in terms of his doubles. He's been very good.
How much do you know about Middlesbrough, Henry, after spending time with Glenn?
140.
If you're interested in my thoughts on the subject, I've learnt a little bit, but I still have a lot more to learn.
What have you learned?
The Glenn Dummets from Middlesbrough won the Premier League and the Lakeside a few times.
And about Middlesbrough itself?
That Glenn Dummett lives there.
100.
The thing is, Teesside's reputation is very working class.
57.
If you're from that region, you're called a smoggy. It kind of speaks for itself, because when you drive towards that area,
100.
it used to have a very somewhat bleak sky. I think it's got its own microclimate.
140. Mark, you got
And one thing about the people
161.
from Middlesbrough, they're very proud of it. Mark's not proud of that dart. It's been a good leg from him so far, but it could be another leg he loses.
80. Jamie requires 64.
Well, Owens looking for 2-zip, looking at 64. And he's going to get another look at double top. And guess
Game
what?
shot
He
the
hits
second
double
leg,
top.
Jamie Owens.
He's looking very effective, isn't he?
He looks like he's getting better appearance on appearance.
Third leg is Mark
He looked
to throw
handy first time he
Game
was here.
on.
He won Group A with consistent darts without maybe breaking any big barriers. The second time he made it through to finals and I made it look quite leisurely, had the highlight moment.
140.
But this, I reckon's the best that Jamie Owens has played it.
Yeah, he's looking more comfortable, that's for sure. That's bad news for everybody else.
45.
On the subject of Middlesbrough once again, they are famous for the Transporter Bridge, which was featured in a series of Auf Wiedersehen Pet,
100.
because they deconstructed that bridge and took it to Nevada, I believe.
100.
A very successful football team in the noughties won the 2004 League Cup under the stewardship of Steve McLaren, and then played in the 2006 UEFA Cup final where they'd lose out to Sevilla. They famously beat Stoia Bucharest in the semi-finals in the second leg at the
100.
Riverside.
Trust me, if you're a Sunderland fan or a Newcastle fan, Middlesbrough fans remind us of that a lot.
11. Mark, you require
Things have
161.
changed, though.
Also, the breeding ground in the managerial career of the former England boss Gareth Southgate. Didn't his Middlesbrough side beat Man City 8-0? Was it 8-0?
99.
6-0? Something like that? 8-1?
I'm bowing to your supremacy on football history. Owens might have to bow to McGeeney's supremacy
81.
here.
Mark, you require 62.
That's okay. This is the best way to take out 62 anyway.
Yeah.
1 for double 8. Trust me, this is the best way to hit it. Isn't that
Game
right,
shot in the
Mark?
third leg. Mark McGeeney.
Wink, wink.
Fourth leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, Middlesbrough's football club was famous for people like Janino, Fabrizio Ravanelli, Stuart Ripley.
180.
He was a Premiership winner with Blackburn Rovers.
1995.
Bernie Slaven. Gareth Southgate, you mentioned him.
68.
Yeah, they've had some good players over the years.
They actually beat Bolton
43.
Wanderers at Wembley by 2-1 in that final. Very much an outsiders final.
Heavyweight final.
Now, this is the starting 11 for Middlesbrough that day. Mark Schwarzer in goal. What a goalkeeper he was.
45.
They lined up in a 4-4-1-1 that day. And then from right to left at the back, Danny Mills, Ugo Ekiog, Gareth Southgate, the captain, Frank Quadra at left back, Geiska Mendieta on the right of midfield with George Boateng, Deriva and Budrin Zenden in the midfield. Jorginho and Joseph Desiree Job came on, were the players up top. And it was Job who'd score after 2 minutes and then a penalty after 7 minutes when Zenden eventually won the game. Mike Corrali was the referee that afternoon. He was a good ref.
That is a cracking side, isn't it? People used to make fun of Middlesbrough's team.
58.
They used to mock the people of Middlesbrough by saying that Joseph Desiree was the only man with a job in Middlesbrough. That was what they used to chant. It was a very, very harsh chant.
124.
But the man at the back with the most French name you could possibly pronounce,
56.
Frank Cadreur.
By the way, some of the Bolton team as well. You had Jussi Jaskalainen in goal, Ivan Campo, JJ Okocha was so good that they named him twice, Kevin Nolan and Kevin
100.
Davies up
Jamie
top.
requires 68.
Big Sam was in charge.
Yeah, fantastic teams. Oh, look at this from Jamie.
Game shot in the fourth leg. Jamie Owens.
J-Lo just doesn't miss. Just a really good performance, this.
Fifth
Steady as a
leg, it's
rock.
Mark to throw first. Game
Well, in
on.
the case of J-Lo, he's just Jamie from the block. He used to win a little, but it looks like he's going to win a lot right now.
And I can confirm that wasn't written down.
60.
Still the same chairman at Middlesbrough, isn't it? Is it Steve Gibson?
140.
Is he still there?
Ooh, good question.
I think he's hanging on
Indeed
by.
it is, yeah.
I think he's hanging on by a thread.
Currently 8th in the championship. In fact, they're
100.
possibly, if rumours are correct, Michael Carrick could be on the cusp of losing his job there if things don't improve.
Well, that might be good for somebody else because he's a great coach.
42.
I think he'd be better off leaving Middlesbrough, quite frankly, if the fans don't want him.
Well, rumours are that the Portsmouth boss, John Machino, is on a potential shortlist to take that job. And here's a fact for you. Middlesbrough were the first football club in the world to launch its own
70.
TV channel, Borough TV, in 1997.
That is a good factoid. It's almost as good as the fact that Pluto TV launched the first 24/7 darts channel very recently. Because that's what you're watching right now.
And you're about to watch Jamie Owens potentially make it 3 wins from 3 matches. But McGeeney's going to make it hard work for him.
But here comes Owens. He's been playing so effectively in this match. You might as well just call him Jesse.
Well, this to complete a hat-trick of wins for the non-league footballer. 46 points away from bagging 6 points. He's been so good on this target all night long. He's been so good all night long. And that's a 3rd win from 3 games for Jamie Owens. He really is the man to beat in this Group B. The bookies had him as a fancied play. He was the 2nd favourite at 12-5. And that backing so far this evening has been justified. 92 average, 4 from 5 on the doubles. That's been his strong point all evening. And he has beaten Mark McGeeney there by 4 legs to 1. 2 more games to go. Coming up after the break, it's Ted Evetts against Reese Robinson.
$54. Charlie McGuire, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
It's the moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
Yoki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone. I think he's gone to bust it, maybe. The first title he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust. And
39.
on that situation there, George Scaife wasn't even able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires 79.
This is it. It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
required
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy. Couldn't get the job done.
The match! And the Red Dragon
George
MODUS
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
And welcome back. It's Pluto TV. It's the MODUS Super Series. and we've got darts after dark for you. We are post the midnight hour, and so settle in, relax, and enjoy the hours. Well, for Ted Evetts, his night's going to come to a close at the end of this particular match. Once he's finished here, I'm sure he'll go and maybe get some food and he'll head for bed. Well, so Reese Robinson, once this match is done, well, he's actually going to go and help clean the motorway up, put some cones out and ensure that the road improvements are done to a perfect time. I say in jest.
First leg, it's Ted to throw first. Game on.
Is that your way of saying that Reese Robinson is a darts enthusiast and a road improver?
$57.
That shirt is so bright, he looks like a Krusty the Clown nightlight.
100. $97. $140.
Now, these two have known each other for quite a few years, dueling in different places. Just so happens that they meet again here.
100.
And with Jamie Owens already on 6 points, the winner of this game will join Jamie on 6, but he has a game in hand against Reese Colley to come.
100.
Robinson first to a finish. Evetts, well, just off the pace a little bit on throw in the opening leg of this match.
77. Reese, you got 161.
Lovely dart. Nice cover shooting. Now he's got a couple of options.
89. Ted, you got 170.
Does Evetts add another to his collection for the week? He's already got this one. And apparently not. This is one of those
31.
got it or need it situations, and he's already got it.
Got. Not got. Needs.
66.
But not to be.
Ted, you require 139.
That's like opening up the stickers and realizing that you've got everything already. It just goes in the pile that you want to trade.
Game shot in the first leg. Reese Robinson.
He's been all over the board tonight, but that one will come in very handy.
Second leg, it's Reese to throw
Reese,
first.
who hails from
Game
Kingston
on.
upon Hull, which is the 63rd most populated city in the UK.
You been to Hull?
I haven't, but there's been some famous
28.
tournaments that have taken place there in the past. The World Masters was held there from 2011 through to 2015.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever been to Hull.
180.
Are there any places in England that you wouldn't go back to that you've already been to?
140.
You've got to be honest, Henry. I've put you on the spot.
Ooh.
Where would you not go back to? And you've got to say why.
57.
And you can't say Portsmouth because you live here.
Thurrock in Essex.
Really?
I had a very, very bad experience
92.
there.
That sounds like a story to have over a libation.
Yes. Put it this way, I was commentating on a football match there, and the whole game I was commentating
60.
on said match. I had a couple of gentlemen that just kept abusing me all game long, and that abuse continued off air.
That does not sound like a pleasant experience.
42.
Put it this way, they said something live on air which got picked up on a microphone, which if I said on this particular microphone would get me the sack.
Oh, I see. Okay. I can understand that.
We'll talk later.
Well, you can speak to experienced dart players like
100.
Reese and Ted. They might say somewhere that they've played a lot of darts because they spend too much time there. It's amazing how honest some players have been recently about places like Wigan and Barnsley.
104.
You can't actually go to the same place too many times, but here's the thing about Portsmouth. You speak to these players, they love coming here. They love playing here.
96.
It's like a home from home. Conan Whitehead said that. Steve West has said that. Robinson doesn't get a shot at a double. He very almost did.
100. Ted, you require 8.
2 fours. Should get got. Does
Game
get got.
shot in the second leg. Ted Evetts.
And that leg's gone. We are level 1-1.
Third leg, it's Ted to throw first. Game on.
Want to hear my place that I never ever want to grace ever again?
Please.
Grimsby.
Well, the clue's in the name.
There is nothing
96.
good about it.
The gantry at Blundell Park is one of the most treacherous you could ever go up.
60.
So you've got this rickety-rockety ladder.
This already sounds like fun.
Sounds like fun if you're not doing it. You climb up this rickety-rockety ladder up to the top of the stand. Then you have to go onto the roof of the stadium. Bit like Goodison Park. You have to climb up from... And I mean, when I say you climb up from the roof, at the back of the stand, all the way over, then you've got a little bit of a hatch. You've got to climb up, you've got to lift the lid of this hatch, and then go back down another ladder, which probably would fail a health and safety inspection. And then you go onto this gantry, which feels like it's been secured by scaffolding that's got a couple of pieces loose.
That doesn't sound like a good experience at all.
101.
Wheelstones is also a little bit unsteady, but I think they've changed theirs since.
100.
You see, every place can't be as state-of-the-art as this place, you see. That's what we've got here. State-of-the-art. That's what we could call this finish. If he'd got it.
136. Reese, you got
He's left himself double 14 after 12. Robinson looking at 140. Couldn't take it out last time. Is this another moment for the human highlight reel?
20.
He expected it to go. It felt good leaving the hand.
28.
But Evetts has got an opportunity to establish a 2-1 lead. Double 14.
Yes, that's quality. 13 darter. Ted's had a pretty good night. Now, I suppose we have to assess how would he feel
Game on.
if he walks away with 4 points. He would actually feel like his ratio for the night, 50-50. But if he has 6...
140.
I think he'd be quite pleased. The only person to beat him, if he gets the points here, would be Jamie Owens, and he did play well against Ted.
44.
Just one more in those locations. Darts on tour is a choice.
134.
People have bagged the likes of Barnsley and Wigan and Milton Keynes and things like that. And places on the continent like Hildesheim and Rosmarlin this week got slated for being cold on Monday.
93.
But you don't have to be there. It's your choice to be there. Dart players are self-employed.
96.
Now, the thing about this place that has garnered a lot of praise is that it's always the right temperature because we understand to get the best out of the players, they need to be comfortable, whether it's January, May, August or December or somewhere in between. Temperature is important to players so they can be comfortable in short sleeves.
Ted's got to be careful here because Reese Robinson is just up the ante a little bit. He's left himself on a double after 12. On the back of the 13 of 10 in the previous leg.
100. Reese requires 60.
Although he will at least have the insurance policy, the fact that this is a good leg for Reese on his darts.
Game shot in the
Finds
fourth
a double
leg.
8. It's
Reese
a 14
Robinson.
darter. We are back level at 2 apiece. Big passage in play,
leg
big
is
best
Ted
of
to throw
3
first.
to
Game
dictate
on.
and determine how each other's nights are going to finish.
This one has 4-3 written all over it.
93.
They both started so promisingly tonight with very similar displays. A ton plus finish each in their first match of the night.
140.
Mid to high 90s average. 180s hit. Similar percentages on double. Better than 50%, the both of them. And the thing
96.
is, these guys are so pragmatic that if you were to say to them at around 5 to 10 tonight, do you care if you're third in the group or first? They'd say, actually, no.
85.
I just want to be in Saturday night with a chance.
Positions look after themselves after you go through.
134.
Well, these two on throw are throwing everything at one another.
Better the devil you know than the devil you don't.
114.
And these two are part of development tour folklore.
138.
Well, this would
Reese
be
36.
an unreal ending to a leg. It's not going to happen. So Ted,
96.
he's
Ted
on
require 40.
what I want to put on a t-shirt. Tops after 12. Because
Game
that's
shot
exactly
big
what he's
leg,
just
Ted
done.
Evetts.
He's hit tops after 12.
And Reese Robinson is averaging in excess of a ton, and he finds himself
Sixth leg is
3-2
Reese
down.
to
The
throw
last
first. Game on.
3 legs have been won in 13, 14 and 13 to the player throwing first, which in this leg is Reese Robinson to take us all the way to a last leg decider.
140.
He has found another level over the course of the last few minutes, and it's now down to Ted Evetts to keep pace with him.
Well,
100.
you've got to finish the job.
$56.
Based on what you know right now, Henry, because we've got two people in a very strong position in Group C, in Wazzy and Carl Wilson.
54.
I think what we're looking at in Group B here is potentially a situation where the top 3 after tonight will be the top 3 going through.
140.
It could be a carbon copy between Groups B and C. Colley's going to have to turn things around in Game 10 tonight to keep things tight.
140.
Robinson's got 6 starts, but if this is an Evetts visit, Evetts is hot on his heels.
88.
Big last dart. Leave himself on a 2-darter. Leave himself on a handy 2-darter at that.
That is so smart, that last dart. It's not necessarily about which treble. It's about getting a treble that is
Reese
easier
requires
to hit than
77.
anything else.
And providing he stays straight, he is going to get a dart. It's a clean bed, it's a clean target, but it's not a clean
37.
kill. And this could
Ted
be the
require
end of
108.
Reese Robinson's night. He started with an average in excess of 95. He's averaging 98 here. But if Evetts...
Why isn't he using the treble 17? Why does nobody use the treble 17 in that
76.
spot?
Reese require 40.
It enrages me. Even someone as smart as Ted has forgotten about that route.
And then went double-double and found the double 19 to leave himself double 16 if there's a return.
No
of which
score.
there is, because Robinson's grazed the wire. He knows how
Ted
significant a miss that
32.
could be. He's played superbly in this contest, but this could be the end of it. Double 8. The 3 match darts have come and gone for Ted Evetts. Robinson's been given a reprieve. Can he take it?
Game
You
shot
bet
the
he
sixth
can.
leg, Reese Robinson.
I quite like that. What he just did, he blew a kiss to tops. Valentine's
Seventh
Day
and
was
final
last
leg
week,
is
Reese.
Ted to throw first. Game on.
But I like that celebration. I think that could catch on. It's almost as good as Alan Suter's little spyglass thing, which
137.
apparently Eddie Hearn and Luke Littler were doing at the boxing last week with Jack Catterall.
Herald's from Fortnite, doesn't it?
Does it?
100.
I thought Bay Van Peer does something similar. It's a Fortnite celebration.
Oh, okay. I thought it was something from Clockwork Orange, which is a whole different thing.
As long as nobody does the L, we'll be absolutely fine.
32.
You know that thing you said earlier tonight when you said my eyes?
Yes.
My eyes.
98.
Henry's just been doing a dance in the commentary box, and it's something I can't unsee. He looks like a dancing Santa.
100.
Only one player can dance at the end of this one.
Well, they've both been a good dance partner for one another, but Reese Robinson is looking to strike the right notes at the right
100.
time.
If Ted walks away with a defeat here after having 3 darts for the match to win it in 6 legs, it's going to be a tale of what happened on Tuesday. He's lost games tonight that he could have won.
82. Reese, you got 123.
Advantage Robinson. How sweet it could have been to finish on the ball.
83. Ted, you got 150.
Now the equivalent of 3 of them is needed by Evetts.
Hail Mary time, but the 150 isn't going to go. Reese Robinson survived
96.
3 match darts in the
requires
previous
40.
leg. He's going to get 3 match darts now. And
Game shot
only
and
needs
the
the
match,
one
Reese
to get the better
Robinson.
of Ted Evetts in a last leg decider. And you can see from the pained expression on Ted Evetts' face, he knows that that's a game he's let slip. As for Reese Robinson, well, some performance to finish as well. He started off with a 95 average, he's finished off with a 98. 4th and 12 on his doubles. He did have to ride his luck a little bit at times, but he's got the better with Ted Evetts in a last leg decider. Coming up after the break is the final game of the evening session. Jamie Owens looking to complete the card, taking on Reese Colley. Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius?
Yes.
Let's do it then.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000.
The new MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen! And one more time, the 8th MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen! And the new MODUS Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison! one more time, the 7th MODUS Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 MODUS Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
One more time, your new MODUS Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McGeeney.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Luke Lidlow! 'Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where before the break we saw Reese Robinson get the better of Ted Evetts in a high-quality affair by 4 legs to 3 averager. In excess of 98, 4 from 12 on his doubles for Evetts. Defeat despite averaging in excess of 90 in that one. And so, to our final game of the evening, it's Jamie Owens and Reese Colley. It's amazing to think that we were sat here 12 hours ago watching Carl Wilson beat Ettore Stilianu by 4 legs
First
to 0.
leg, it's Jamie to
Fast
throw
forward the
first.
time,
Game
and
on.
we now head towards the final push on this Thursday. One final game where I get the pleasure of being sat next to the asset, Paul Nicholson.
21.
Don't worry, Henry. After this one, we'll be back live in another 12 hours.
It's like we're a non-stop darts channel, isn't it?
57.
We don't mind it. And Jamie doesn't mind how tonight is gone.
100.
He was fancied by some people to do well in this group, even though there's a lot of quality there. And 690 plus
44.
averages registered in 9 games tonight. That's pretty good. In fact, Reese Colley's
57.
first game average against Robinson is the worst we've seen tonight. And that placed him in immediate danger. He has recovered a little bit.
36.
He beat Mark McGeeney 4-1, but has subsequently lost again, meaning there's a lot of importance on this one. To keep this group really tight, the
59.
onus is on Colley to get the points.
$59. $96.
Fair to say that this has been a slow start to the match.
60.
Some of the greatest sports in the world start slow. First few overs of a test match. Maybe the start of the Kieran in the Velodrome.
96.
Or any of the pursuit events. And then all hell breaks loose.
Just like a World
44.
Championship
Jamie
snooker
Maguire,
final.
72.
Well, it depends who's playing in it. Anyway, for 1-0, double 12. He won't miss double 6. I promise you he won't miss double 6.
Game shot in the first leg. Jamie Owens.
I don't like breaking promises.
Second leg, it's Reese to throw first. Game on.
Well, one thing's definitely for sure. He has been incredible on it tonight.
I genuinely cannot remember him missing that target at any point this evening.
I think he said it's 3 times out of 3.
$135.
He's utilising those front-loaded darts with a long point. Almost similar to
45.
a really old-school Whitlock setup, when he made the world final in 2010. But the shape of these barrels,
140.
they're very much Aspinall style. Well, let's face it, it is the era of the snake. 2025.
140.
So that bodes well for Nathan and Peter Wright and Jelle Klassen, who made a Pro Tour final this week.
96.
Well, the fact these ain't even the darts Jamie Owens normally plays with makes you feel
81.
like, what's
Jamie
he like when he's playing with the other
130.
set that he feels like he's better with?
Time will tell. He's looking at the bull.
84.
He knew that was wide as
Reese
soon as he threw it.
110.
He's missed darts at a double, but not many have been offline like that tonight.
37.
As soon as he sees Reese
Jamie, you require
in the single
46.
19, he knows he's returning. It's a shame he's not going to leave double six, really. But he's been
Game
just as
start the
good at
second leg,
tops
Jamie Owens.
as he has been on double six. I think we're really starting to see what Jamie Owens can
Third
do.
leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
What he can do is a lot of good. I'm just going through his double stats tonight. 4 from 6 against Robinson. 4 from 8 against Evetts, including a
81.
couple of ton plus outs. 4 from 5 against McGeeney and 2 from 4 here.
100.
He is hitting more than he is missing tonight.
$99.
He's 70% for the night.
30.
That is outrageous. That's the kind of thing you just don't see in Group B.
It seldom happens at all,
81.
not here anyway. I mean, the last time I can remember doubling on a scale like that was Adam Paxton the week he went on to win it.
85.
Do you remember that week that Colin Osborne won the week and Christian Kist was on a charge? He had a Group B night where I think he was 65% and we were dizzy with it.
100.
I know this game isn't completed yet, but this from Jamie on the doubling is better than that. And that's from a former world champion.
100. Jamie, you got 140.
Well, it goes beyond world class, it's that good. Finishing like this, and the way he's playing, he could compete with any player in the world right now.
60.
But is he scoring to the same level? The answer is no.
But
140.
a 92 average
Jamie,
and
you got
a doubling
80.
dexterity like that will make you competitive in any arena you're in. Double 10.
Game shot in the third
This is
leg,
crazy.
Jamie Owens.
This is getting better. What's that?
Fourth leg, it's Reese to throw first. Game on.
11 from 21, is it? Is that right? $15 from 21.
57.
It's only gone up by a percentage point, but if he gets another one turn hit, it'll be one of the best doubling performances we've ever seen
135.
in a group campaign for a day.
He has served out more doubles than a bar person at Pop World.
180.
That might be the most Portsmouth reference I've heard all week. Stop dancing,
100.
Henry. There's life in Reese Colley yet.
He's sprung into life, back-to-back 180s. Ensuring it's not one-way traffic in this match.
125. Reese require 84.
To stay in the match. After 7 minutes, he's on the chopping block.
62.
Ooh,
Jamie, you
very,
got
very close.
141.
But a chance for Owens to win 4-0. It's still on. No shot at double 12.
But Reese, I'm going to give you one
89.
word of
Reese
advice
require
right here.
22.
Just hit this. Hit this. He
Game
does.
shot in the fourth
He
leg.
stops
Reese
Jamie Owens from
Colley.
having match darts. That's actually 3 words of advice.
Fifth leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
Hit this is 2 words.
Wait, I said just in the... It's 1 a.m.
81.
Don't call me M.
60.
Right. Jamie Owens will be
95.
hoping this is the end to the night's proceedings here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Wins this, he would have completed the card, 4 wins from 4, and he'd be within a win, realistically, of making it through to Saturday's showpiece for a 3rd consecutive occasion.
And what we need to express
83.
to everybody watching is that Jamie Owens drove from Teesside to Portsmouth today.
100.
If you've never driven 6 hours and then played 4 games of darts, I cannot express just how difficult that is.
134.
To get straight out of the car and into the shower and getting ready and straight to the venue. It's hard. It's really hard.
58. Jamie, you require 108.
Well, this to cap off the card. Jamie Owens' finishing has been absolutely exceptional at times, and he's going to finish the night off with a ton plus checkout to 108 finish. His doubling over the course of the night was in excess of 72%. One of the best doubling displays we have ever seen here at the MODUS Super Series. He ends with a 4-1 win against Reese Colley. He ends with a ton plus checkout. He ends top of the table. He ends with a card completed and ends with 8 points. And that ends our night's action. But the coverage doesn't end there, because we're going to be speaking to Reese Robinson in the final part of the show. Myself and Paul Nichols on the other side of this short break.
$54. Charlie McGuire, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts, but he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
Yoki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think he's
require
gone to
118.
bust it, maybe. The first title he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that situation there, George Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
required
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
George require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go
Couldn't get the job
Got
done.
in the match! And the Red Dragon
George
MODUS
Skate.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Skate!
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. Thursday night session has come to a close. And before the break, Jamie Owens got the better of Reese Colley by 4 legs to 1. He's completed the card on the opening night's worth of play on Thursday. And also a very good night for Reese Robinson. He got the better of Ted Evetts in the last game 4-3. That was a battle to see who's going to end the night on 6 points, in the group. Let's have a look at the table then, following the end of the action. Nice uniform table there. Jamie Owens on 8 points, Reese Robinson on 6, Evetts back on 4, Colley on 2, Mark McGeeney without a win to his name. A good night for Reese Robinson. 3 wins from his 4 matches. He joins us now in the studio to assess that. Reese, many congratulations. In terms of your results, you must be happy. In terms of the performances, do you feel the same way?
Results happy, performance. I feel okay about my game. I'm just a little bit missing.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting because obviously you don't always get the luxury of having a look at the numbers that we get to have a look at. Your first performance was really strong. Your last performance was really strong. Was it the bits in the middle that was a nagging frustration for you?
Yeah, I was annoyed to lose to Jamie. I felt like I did enough to win that game, and then I just missed a few vital shots. And then, I don't know, I just thought I'll just win the rest and just try and get on with it and then come back tomorrow night. But yeah, a little bit. There's just the Jamie performance I'm a little bit annoyed with, to be honest.
2 weekly wins, Reese, and we know that you are a highlight reel that we love to watch. Does knowing that you and Reese Colley being the only weekly champions coming into this, does that come with any additional pressures maybe to do it again?
I didn't know that was only me and him, to be honest, but no, I don't feel pressure like that really. There's enough good players here, they've won other stuff and bits and bobs, so no, everybody's very good.
In terms of some of the things that you did right over the course of the evening, it felt like when under pressure, by and large, you were able to find what you needed, some key shots, even if it was just the odd dart, a double here and there. It felt like when push came to shove, you were able to find something tonight.
Yeah, that's what I can take from tonight. I felt, when I got a little bit angry and I thought, I started playing properly. I started playing proper darts and I was just like, I was a little bit lazy, thinking I was going to win all 4. I don't know. Yeah, I just felt a little bit lazy.
We're just looking at this 112 finish that you took out against Jamie. And at the time, I was sitting back in my commentary chair just salivating at how good that was. Because when you block the treble 18 and you have to go across the oche to open the angle, when you get that clean 54, it's a really good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it made the tops easier, if that makes sense, because you've hit the harder shot and you think, just got tops in, hit the tops, yeah. And I thought that would be a game winner. In my head at the time, I thought, I'll win the game, and then didn't. That's why I was annoyed.
And is that the nagging frustration for yourself? Because the good bits are really, really, really good from yourself.
Yeah, I'm using a longer point and I'm just flip-flopping with that, and I think that's what's in my head all night.
I really want to ask you about playing in Group B as a fresh player, because we've seen you a lot playing in Group A. So you do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and at times when you've played the Group B action on the Thursday and Friday night, you've had a little bit of a problem with your arm and you've had to throw a little differently. Talk us through those times where you've had to throw darts flatter.
Well, it suits me coming into Group B to play 2 and then hopefully the Saturday. When I do a full week, there's so many games and I start getting tight and you're not sleeping in your own bed and your back's tight and I just get tight in my shoulder and it's easier for me to throw darts flat. That's how I naturally throw, I think. And when I try to land them up, they just don't. So I think I may as well just go with the throw and I found it easier.
There felt like a real focus about your team. It was one thing that we caught out in the commentary box. It felt like from first start to last, it was all really business-like from you.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I know I'm not playing the greatest darts I've ever played. Usually when probably a little bit overconfident going for the silly three tops, and sometimes it gets me going. Sometimes I can't. I don't know me at the best of times, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I just felt like tonight, get the job done, get the wins, and then come back tomorrow. And then
I don't know if you caught any of the action from Group C this afternoon, but Darren Brown of Norwich, he starts with a 180, then he gets a 171 with 3 treble 19s, and he did get the first bull of the 3. So it's almost the closest we've been to that famous 3-shot 9-darter. So do you think you can get a bit closer than him?
no, that first start was so good. I thought he was just going to clip all 3. To be honest, he looked on it. I watched it earlier. Yeah, he looked like I thought he was going to hit it.
Well, Reese, we'll have another quick chat with you in a second. Just want to sum up everything else that's happened tonight, Nico. In particular, Jamie Owens, J-Lo, 4 games, 4 wins, doubling at 72% for the night.
Yeah, it's almost 73%, and it's unheard of because